at the Hollis House of Cards, St. Johns County. Come on by, say hello. Got some kids in and out. The school's ending. This little guy over here looking at some Pokemon. I mean,
yeah.
I figure, I was just talking to Mark DeVoli, we're going to do like a little summer camp out here on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Get the kids out, right?
Yeah.
So we got to have some fun with this stuff.
Rip those Charizards.
Whatever that means.
Little Snorlax as well.
Hey, you better come down you better come down here to explain everything to me when we get to that point.
Yeah, I can do that.
So anyway, we're here until 6 o'clock. Come on by. Action Sports Jax OT, abbreviated edition today because the shrimp start early in Norfolk, and you can hear the Jumbo Shrimp each and every day they play on ESPN 690, your home for Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp baseball. So, listen, the psychology of we were just talking about yesterday with Doug Peterson, the psychology of the Jags. We're talking about the psychology of golf, right? Why you would get angry. You brought this up on the show, and it's fascinating, really. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, that's like really true. Like, why do people get mad at video games? Why do we throw the controller? Why do we break the controller? Like, but when I was a kid now, I was a huge Dolphins fan, Miami Dolphins fan. And I was a big Dan Marino fan is what I found out. But, like, when they would lose, and the Bills were good, remember, like in the early 90s especially. And, you know, Marino's so good, but their team is like you kind of knew it. Like, the team was good but not good enough all the time. Almost all the time it felt that way. I mean, they had some great players, but they just weren't good enough on defense or they couldn't run the ball. And so you knew that. Like, I was savvy enough at my age at that time to know, but I, like, wanted Marino to go to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl so bad. And, like, my mom would get so mad. Like, she would really – she didn't get it.
Right.
Like, she did not get it. Like, you know, if Ty gets mad watching a game, I kind of get it. I've been there. You know?
Amen.
My mom did not get it, and she wasn't all about it. Like, she was not having it.
You can't win them all.
But there were times when, like, Mom wasn't home, I would throw that remote like at the
Really?
TV. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like, I would get, like, you're sitting there, like, in hindsight, you're like, gosh, I might need some anger management classes here.
It's funny you say that about, like, sports that aren't, like, I'm controlling the video game, right? So that's why I get mad. I've never, like, thrown the remote over a sports result, to be honest.
Oh, gosh, man.
I've cried.
I did a little bit of that. I mean, the Red Sox did that. Yeah. I gave up on the Red Sox against the Angels in '86, and then Donnie Henderson hit the home run. My mom still reminds me of that to this day. It's not over until it's over, you know. She'll say it like probably 6 times a year to me still. But it's just crazy, the way, again, we're getting into the psychology and stuff, but if you play video games, you know it. You've been mad.
Yeah.
Right, and not
y'all
just you,
smashed
but
the controller
anybody out
too.
there.
Better believe it.
Now there's an older generation right now that either has to tap into when they were playing like Nintendo or whatever back in the day, Atari.
Oh, listen.
But right now they're saying I don't get why my kid gets so mad at video games. Well, because you're older and wiser, you dummy. That's why.
True.
But you used to do the same.
Hey, my controller smashing is equal opportunity. I've done a GameCube controller. I've done a Wii controller, PS2, PS3, PS4. Don't get me started, Brent.
Wait, is that just a male thing?
Yeah, Amanda. So me and Amanda play Fortnite together. She has like a PC and I have PlayStation. And we play in the same house. Our Wi-Fi is really working overtime when we do that. But like I'll like chuck the controller and like drop a couple of JFCs and she's like, "What? It's a game. What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We got cheated. Like we got hosed. The game messed us up. Like what do you mean?" She's like, "It's a game." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, like I think you're right. I think it is like a male-driven thing. I'm not saying that there are no women that don't get mad at that kind of thing. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, what do women get mad at that men are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's going to be a tough one for us to answer.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. But I'm sure there are things. So, again, we're talking psychology. This is Psychology 101 here on ESPN 690. But we'll get away from that point. Let's talk some sports. We do have later, we'll talk a little bit about the NBA Finals starting up. The golf is a huge story right now. And we're not just for our Dream 18 show. So we'll hit on that, even though we spent a lot of time talking about it in the 2 o'clock hour. You can always go back and you'll be able to see that on YouTube, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. But we start with some football. And yesterday, we were at, of course, OTAs. You're allowed one day. We're allowed to go out there one day a week. And so we're out there yesterday, and we talked a lot about Travis Etienne. I did a one-on-one interview with Travis Etienne. And some of the conversation we had was Alvin Kamara, right? We looked up some of his numbers. Is he going to be more of a receiver or a running back? We spent a lot of yesterday talking about Etienne, his role, and what kind of back he's going to be. Like, what kind of back will we label him? And it's fun conversation talking about Etienne because we've never seen him play a snap in the NFL. We saw him do a lot of cool things at Clemson. And now the people, or at least the guy that we think drafted Etienne, is no longer there in Jacksonville. So, to me, that's fascinating because this was an Urban Meyer vision. I don't believe this was a Trent Baalke vision. I think this was an Urban Meyer vision for Travis Etienne. Well, what's the Doug Peterson vision look like? And would you say it's the same because of the style back and who he is for Etienne? Or could it be different, Casey, just from a philosophical, offensive-minded point of view?
I think it'll be the same in terms of, well, I guess we don't really know how they tried to use him, but I think it'll be the same in terms of using him with the passing game and the run game and doing both. I don't think there'll just be obviously a one way to use this guy. I think you can line him up in the backfield, slot, wherever. I think you're going to move this guy around. He's going to be a weapon, and I think Doug Peterson understands that. It's going to use him to the best of his abilities, whether that's in the backfield or lined up as a wide receiver.
Well, Jonathan Jones, he writes for CBS, and he was in town yesterday and talking to Travis Etienne as well. Actually, he talked to him right after we talked to him. And Jones does a good job for CBS Sports. And he wrote something about Etienne and did something that, I guess I wasn't thinking about, but makes a lot of sense when you try to draw a comp to what he is. We brought up guys like Kamara. Kamara's been probably the biggest comp to Etienne. I think you could bring up a player like Christian McCaffrey because he catches it and he runs, but I think the styles are different. He's a more shifty player, right? Would you agree? And yeah. Christian McCaffrey. We even brought up a guy like Jonathan Taylor. Well, look how much he carries it versus he catches it. So they're not the same. Who else did you bring up along with Kamara? There was somebody else.
Austin Eckler.
Eckler. There you go. That was a good, 200 carry guy, 60 catch guy. Yeah. Right? Or 70
Correct.
catch guy, something like that. And so, but why didn't we think of this more? We compare Laviska Shenault, or Urban Meyer tried to compare Laviska Shenault to Deebo Samuel. The physical nature of Laviska, who's a born and bred receiver, but he can play all different things like the Wildcat, and you can line him up in the backfield. And Deebo Samuel has made a living doing that. Right now, Deebo Samuel's disgruntled about doing that because he doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to just catch passes, is what it sounds like. Well, Jonathan Jones comes into Jacksonville, talks to Travis Etienne, and he writes an article today, and he says, is Travis Etienne Deebo Samuel-esque? That's pretty interesting and really kind of makes a lot of sense. Although I still would probably put him in the Kamara category more than Samuel. But it could be a matchup type thing for the Jacksonville Jaguars the way Deebo Samuel is.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand what we're trying to do. Not we, but just I understand. And Travis Etienne's the one that, said it, that he wanted to be like Deebo Samuel. So props to him, but I'm not going to lie to you, Brent. I don't love the idea of that. When you have a guy, I understand the injury had nothing really to do with overusage or anything. It just happened, right? But I don't love the idea of this guy coming off of injury. Hey, let's get him the ball every time like we do Deebo Samuel. I think you would, in an ideal world for me, you use him, but you don't overuse him early on in his career because now where are we at with Deebo Samuel where what he does best is be that weapon, backfield, receiver, everywhere, and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So, I like the idea of it, don't get me wrong, but it kind of scares me.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting way to look at it. Running back should scare you in general if you're thinking about longevity.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the position. I mean, seriously, if we're talking about a back in general, and now listen, Fred Taylor, long way, got a lot out of him. Obviously, Maurice Jones-Drew, really good years. Seemed to go fast at the end, though, which happens. I mean, what are we talking, 5 or 6 years out of a running back?
Yes.
And even if he's brilliant, you're like, 6 years, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not everybody's going to be Frank Gore. But Frank Gore never was he really brilliant either. You know, it's a little different animal in that sense.
Yeah.
So I think you got to be careful with the running back position to begin with from a health standpoint and a longevity standpoint. And I get what Debo kind of feels. You're going to take a beating at that running back spot. What's always interesting about the Debo Samuel thing is, okay, you're saying you don't want the ball? Like a receiver saying they don't want the ball? Like they're trying to give you the ball more. Which, again, interesting conversation. Etienne, I think, is talking about this more from a matchup standpoint. And honestly, that is the way I look at him. Like, that's what I think Urban had in mind. We'll see what Doug Peterson had in mind. But this is a guy that ran for a lot of yards in the ACC at Clemson, yet you see him in the NFL as more of a matchup nightmare potentially than a standard back. Yeah. And so what they do with him is why we've talked about this a lot ever since he got drafted. Leading into last year, then he gets hurt, so then we can't talk about it anymore. Like, I had a conversation with Etienne yesterday, and I said, like, we don't really even know what you were going to do last year. Because, remember, they hit him in the preseason.
Yep.
Like, they hardly used him, and then they used him, like, I think on 10 or 11 plays, and he got hurt on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, I don't look at Etienne as Debo because, and the only reason I say this, well, it's twofold in my mind, and I might be wrong, but in my mind it's twofold. One, Debo was receiver first.
Yeah.
That's why Laviska kind of gets in that conversation, receiver first, that can do this too. Travis Etienne, running back first. That's his position.
Mm-hmm.
RB. But he also can really make an impact in the catching game, in the receiving game. And so that's – and then the other big difference to me, Casey, is Debo, although Debo is fast, like Laviska's problem of comparing to Debo is he's not like a burner, right?
Yes, correct.
He's not going to run away from anybody.
No.
Well, Etienne can.
Sure.
And so that, like, but I'm not sure Etienne has the physical nature of a guy like Debo. See, Laviska has that quality. And that's why he gets compared. But Debo's like, he can be a physical dude now.
Mm-hmm.
Etienne reminds me more speed than physical, but let's not sleep on the physical side. Because, again, he can be an in-between-the-tackles runner and did a heck of a job at it at Clemson.
Yeah, so here's kind of my thing with Etienne, right? We think he's going to do all these things. We see the videos of him catching passes. Great. Are we giving a guy too much credit for potentially being a pass catcher in the NFL when, one, we've never seen him do it, and two, he did it at college. It kind of progressed, but his best year he had at Clemson, he only caught 12 footballs. He ran for 1,600 yards as a runner, but he only caught 12 footballs. So are we giving too much credit for something that we think can happen, but we're not even 100% sure?
Yeah, it's fair shake. Listen, coming out of LSU, Leonard Fournette didn't catch passes very often. He was not viewed as a pass catcher. And people were like, I don't know if he can catch. Does he have hands? Can he catch? Well, he caught like 80 balls one year.
Yeah, no,
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, listen, this guy, he might not have been utilized that way because they had all these other weapons, and most of the time as a runner, he's got the skill set to be able to do it. And he's got, get me out in the open field and let me do my thing. See, that's what Etienne's got in him.
Yeah.
See, Fournette never had, he that wasn't his game. So you weren't like, hey, we got to get him the ball in the open field, got to get him well, that's what Kamara's got. And that's what a Christian McCaffrey's got. And that's what Austin Eckler's got. And so you want to get these guys in space. And so it's really less about can he catch or not. They'll figure that part out, right? It's more how can we get him in this green grass to let him do his thing to the best of his ability. And I think that's where Etienne becomes pretty fun. And in today's style where everything's spread out, much like the college game, by the way, you can probably find more green grass than you used to be able to do it.
Yeah, well, agreed. But let me ask you this then. So obviously now there's graphics with Travis Etienne and Debo Samuel on them, right, that are just all over Twitter.
I haven't seen that today. But...
Yeah, they're like side by side.
Okay.
We putting too much on him? Like if he's not this dude like that we think he's going to be, like are we going to be like, what? What happened here?
Well, that's really good questions. By the way, do me a favor because I can't pull this up quick enough. Give me Etienne's pass catching numbers at Clemson.
So
if you don't mind.
I have them in front of me. So his first year, 5 catches. His second year, like I mentioned, 12 for 78. He ran for 1,600 yards. And then 2019, he had 37 for 432. And then
that's the year.
Yeah. And then his last season, the carries went way down. He played in all the games, but the carries went way down, and he had 48 catches for 588.
Yeah, so he obviously that increased. The game changes a little bit. The offense changes. The weaponry changes. All this stuff. But and that's why people talk about him as a pass catcher. But I think you bring up a good point, and then I'll counter with this. Are we overplaying Deebo Samuel's role? Like, are we too enamored with Deebo Samuel? Should everybody want to be like Deebo Samuel? Like, it's looked good. It's been good, but, like, it's just a rare thing, isn't it? Or Patterson from Atlanta has kind of done the same, right?
Yeah, lower scale, but yeah.
Yeah, lower. Yeah, I mean, he's not doing both, but he's really gone from kick returner specialist to was a receiver to let's try him out of the backfield, but he doesn't look like a running back.
Yeah.
So is this a new wave, or is this like pump the brakes? Not every team's going to have a Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. I think we might be a little infatuated with a guy like Deebo Samuel because of how good it looked for that 1 year. But we don't know where it goes from here because we hadn't really seen him do that until last year, and then boom, it was there, and it was huge, and really San Francisco needed it because they didn't have no running backs, and they didn't really have any other receivers. So Deebo had to play that role. But to your point, yeah, I think it's scary. Like, from a health standpoint, like, you're taking the position that has, like, the lowest longevity in the league, and you're saying do more to potentially hurt yourself, like, and you have more chances to hurt yourself, I guess. If you're getting the ball now, 200 times carrying it, and then 70 times catching it, like that might be too much. So I think the idea that you could potentially put somebody in even more risk than they need to be in, especially a first-year player like Etienne, man, it just scares me.
Yeah, listen, I think that's an interesting thought. The other part about Deebo Samuel is, like, Shanahan, I think Shanahan gets too much credit sometimes, but he is a pretty smart guy on offense.
Mm-hmm.
And he, is he the guy that's been able to make this work, maybe more so than do you trust your own people to make it work like he's made it work? I think that's a fair question. But I want to go back to what you brought up, and more, I think, from the health standpoint. But forget about the health for a minute. Hopefully, Etienne's healthy and ready to go. It certainly appears like that. He's looked really good at a couple OTAs that we've been to. And talking to him yesterday, he's got no ill effects from the Liz Frank. But I think you did bring up a good question. Are we putting too much on Travis Etienne? And my answer is probably no. Yet we have scar tissue from other positions of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we always go to the same guys here. Miles Jack, a guy like Taven Bryan, like where you try him at too many things at one time. That's right now is I think the lesson learned with a Trayvon Walker on the defensive side. Don't ask him to do too much. Let him get comfortable. Let him be good at least one thing, and then move on. Expand. Be versatile. Devin Lloyd might be the same way for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let him settle in and then evolve his position. I don't say that about Etienne because of two reasons. One, to me, he is the guy that makes their offense dynamic and different. They tried to replace him on a lot of different levels last year, and they couldn't. And so I think he's their dynamic piece that might make this offense go from maybe better anyway because Trevor's better and you added Christian Kirk and you got better at the tight end room and Doug Peterson's here, so it might be better anyway. But all those people don't make it necessarily different or dynamic. I think Etienne does. The other part is I'm not sure you can put too much on a running back, Casey. Running back, by nature, I think is I don't want to be Maurice Jones-Drew would probably get mad at me if he heard me say this, but I think it's a simplistic position.
Oh, boy.
Well, I do, and there's a reason I say this. The most difficult part of being a running back, I think, is the pass pro stuff. Picking up blitzes, those kind of things. And so there's an element of that has some sophistication to it. I think the other stuff, and again, there's a reason I say this. Anytime a running back, like Fred would miss OTAs or come into camp late, or Mojo was have the holdout, or you get new running backs a lot of times, by the way, in mid-season that come to new teams and actually contribute that week and right away. Because I think there's a basic nature to running the football in every scheme. And I think it's easier to pick up. And so I'm just going off past experience saying that. I'm not speaking from a running back point of view. And therefore, I think the same would be even in a pass-catching role. So I don't think his head is spinning. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
These other guys that you're saying, hey, are we putting too much on from a versatility standpoint? Well, their head might be spinning because my rules are on this play or over here, and when I play this position, it's over here, and I got to be there. I got to be too many different landmarks on the field, all this stuff. I don't know if that's the case with a running back, with the exception of the picking up the blitzes and the pass protection. And I think you're not necessarily asking the question from that standpoint. You're more asking, how much can this guy do to, save the Jags, right, and be the guy in the offense? I don't think they need him to have a 1,500-yard year with 10 touchdowns for them to be dynamic. I think they need him to be a threat. They need people to game plan for what he might do, and then he needs to be productive, as productive can be from that position. But it's also okay if James Robinson gets healthy and is a complementary player in the backfield. So that's why I don't think he has to do that much, because I think James Robinson also can shoulder some of the load, or somebody else will have to if he's not healthy. Raquel Armstead or now Snoop Connor, who they just drafted.
I agree with you. I think James is a big part of this, but I think now with what we're talking about with him, we and everybody nationally, if at the end of the season we look up and it's, 650 rushing and 300 receiving, are we going to be like, that was it? Are we going to be mad at that? Or are we going to be like, he's still technically a rookie? I don't know, now that we've put all this expectation into what he can do and what we think he's going to do. If it's not a crazy stat year, are we going to be like, well, we got let on? It's Laviska Shenault all again. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, we'll see. By the way, I still think there's reason to be excited about Laviska Shenault. I think he's going to have a better year than he had last year, and I think it's okay to get excited about Travis Etienne. I think to your point, we got to be careful of one thing. He can't make up for last year. So he can't put 2 years into one season.
Right.
So I think you're on to something a little bit there. But I think that's more of an internal thing for him, to try not to do too much. I don't think the expectation level internally is going to be like, man, we need this guy to do this. Now, you ask Trevor Lawrence, we need this guy to do this. That's a different story with Trevor. The expectation level, how much can he get better? How much will he do last year versus this year? Well, that's a different animal because that's the nature of that position. But I don't think that will be the case with Travis. So we'll see. It's a good question, though, and an interesting conversation. Everybody wants to be like Deebo Samuel. Everybody wanted to be like Mike.
Yeah.
They should make a Gatorade commercial for everybody who wants to be like Deebo.
Hey, that's a good idea. You should talk to his people. Let him know that's a good idea. By the way, on YouTube, Zamar says 8 TDs, and that's okay. So I think that goes with the stats I was saying. So as long as he's scoring touchdowns, are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Well, by the way, you're right. I mean, if they can get – well, first of all, 8 touchdowns would feel like they're at least scoring more than 15 points a game.
Yeah, 8 feels like a lot.
It would be good.
Yeah.
It would be good. And how they're going to do that, that doesn't always tell the story either, because who's their short yardage back. And what I would really look at is how many explosive plays can a guy like Etienne have? And I don't know what the metric and number should be, but to me, that's where he sets you apart. He's the guy you can give the ball anywhere on the field. And Urban wasn't wrong about this. We don't have enough guys that we can give them the football on the field anywhere, and they can score from that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Etienne is that guy. And by the way, Christian Kirk, they hope, can be that guy in some situations. So that's where this offense may evolve. Well, that was a long start to the show, but I loved it. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at Divoli's House of Cards. We'll be back, talk more football, a little NBA, a little golf. We'll mix a little bit of everything in on ESPN 690 here on a Wednesday.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly sunny and hot today. An isolated storm well inland, well west of I-95 as temperatures reach the upper 80s, dropping into the mid to upper 60s tonight. And partly to mostly sunny and hot tomorrow. Your Thursday high in the low 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds.
Untouchable pricing, incredible value, phenomenal shopping experience. Only at Beard's Diamonds.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Jump for joy. You own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. There's no place like home, and no one like you. Count on your Community First Mortgage champions for a loan that fits your life and budget, so you can be yourself. Buy, refinance, or renovate. You'll save with low rates, quick closings, and no origination fees. Go ahead and own it. Apply now at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes. Escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
Ben, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
An essential part of starting and running a business is managing cash flow. This involves not just generating sales revenue, but also securing financing, handling expenses, and ensuring there is working capital in order to reinvest. At SCORE, we offer advice and can direct you to resources to help address these issues. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. We provide free one-on-one mentoring, a library of online information, and a series of timely webinars. Go to jacksonville.score.org to see how we can assist you today.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's Chief Meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe.
In the most respectful way possible, it doesn't change how I feel about you guys as people, but I really don't necessarily. It's not my job to care what you guys say or anyone else on social media. I mean, for me, I care about what the guys in the locker room think and what my coaching staff thinks.
Hey, welcome back to Bowley's House of Cards. Brent Martineau along with Casey Kurtz here on a Wednesday. Already Wednesday, middle of the week. That's what Memorial Day will do to you. Get that Monday off. And now we're floating toward a Friday.
You ever put good hard work into finding a good soundbite to react to, and then you don't even have your headset on?
Yeah, sorry, I know it. I was yapping with Mark, and he bought some pizzas. You're missing that too, so
dude,
I'm
what
eating
the
some
heck?
Pizza. Yeah, so we're just yapping away, and I didn't hear the soundbite. How
Awesome.
good was the soundbite?
It was good. I'll play it later.
You want to play it again, right now?
Sure. I thought you'd have a reaction to it. You know, he's talking about the media, and no, I'll just play it.
In the most respectful way possible, it doesn't change how I feel about you guys as people, but I really don't necessarily. It's not my job to care what you guys say or anyone else on social media. I mean, for me, I care about what the guys in the locker room think and what my coaching staff thinks.
Who is that? Is that from the NBA Finals?
No.
Is that Tommy Pham?
No, it's Trey Lance.
Oh, Trey Lance. Why would he even be saying that yet? The guy, is there any negative conversation about Trey Lance?
Yeah, it's floating around there that he's not ready to play.
Still?
Yeah. Why do you think they still have Jimmy G?
No, they have Jimmy G. Hasn't Shanahan been very open about that? I appreciate that about Shanahan. He's basically said, yeah, listen, thought he'd be traded by now, but he might be here because of the shoulder injury. Who says that? Isn't that the most, that's been just a quiet story at how transparent Shanahan, the 49ers, Garoppolo have been about the Garoppolo situation, which is cool because it's obvious. They traded up to get the third overall pick, not to get Mac Jones, but to get Trey Lance. Jimmy G keeps him on the bench, which might be better off for Lance and for the 49ers in the long run, but he brings them almost to the promised land again. They want to trade him. They can't trade him because of the surgery or other reasons. And now what? You're paying Jimmy G a good amount of money. You got this young kid, and they're like, yeah, we're trying to trade him. We're trying to trade him. And that usually is not said in the media. So I think it's been a fascinating watch, and I think also a very, the medical folks know a lot more, and teams know a lot more about the medicals and whatever this injury is, how severe the shoulder is, or why that would be so concerning that now people are sitting on. There were plenty of teams that needed quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Who made more sense for Washington? Jimmy Garoppolo or Carson Wentz?
Not Carson Wentz.
Carolina, hello?
Yeah, they need somebody.
So what are they waiting on? What are they waiting to see from Jimmy Garoppolo? Seattle might be a different animal because, quite frankly, the 49ers might not want to trade him to Seattle.
Right.
Although I'm not sure you really should get your, you're trying to replace the guy. The guy should be able to go.
True.
Hopefully they're not holding it up for that, but I kind of get it inside the division. So it's a really interesting situation, but I haven't heard that as much. I don't read a lot of Trey Lance stuff. There's no reason for me to do so, but I haven't heard that, he's not ready. Why wouldn't he be ready? He's sat for the year.
I'm just telling you what I see on Twitter, Brent. They're making those narratives about him.
Yeah, Twitter,
not my guy, Trey Lance.
Twitter lies sometimes.
Oh.
But my point in the conversation was really, we're already he's played 3 games in his NFL career. He's probably thrown 15 passes in his NFL career, probably a little bit more than that, but you get the point. And we're already saying, yeah, I don't read anything. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what Twitter says. It's kind of early. It feels early, but I guess that's today's day and age when it comes to sports in general. We were just having that conversation we go back to psychology class here.
Okay.
We were just having that conversation yesterday with some of the savvy players, like even on the Jags, from a social media standpoint, that enjoy social media. They're on it enough to know what people are saying about you. And, see, I believe that you can see as much of that as you want to see. You will accidentally fall into some of that stuff based on the medium that it is. But you don't have to see all of it. Like, now, if you want to go type your name in and people are talking about you, now you're going to see all of it.
True.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to. Like, depending on the people who follow you and talking about you and this and that. Like, again, you might scroll through your timeline and you might see some of the criticism that you're getting. But you don't need to see all of it. And so I think, and I get it that they're on a grander scale, but I don't think the criticism on social media should or really does bother athletes as much as sometimes we in the media ask them if it bothers them. I think you're used to it.
Yeah.
By now. Like, now we've grown up around, no, well, they've grown up around it, not me, but like they've grown up around it.
That's true.
That's just part of the world. And I think they also have the perspective to know, all right, that person's a knucklehead that's probably talking about me and doesn't really know the whole story. Like, you got to be really careful to not inundate yourself with it to the point where you almost fool yourself into believing what they're saying about you.
True.
So I think that's a wild thing for today's athlete. But if you ask me this conversation, kind of what Trey Lance was talking about, or what I'm talking about with, say, even a Jags player in a small town like Jacksonville, where it feels small, where Jags are the biggest thing by far, you still have to go find it. And if you asked me this 6-7 years ago, then I'd be like, wow, that might be tough for a young player to handle. Well, that young player that 6-7 years ago I was talking about, that player that's now 22, 23, 24 years old, they've already dealt with that in high school. They've dealt with that in college, and now they're dealing with it in the NFL. Like, they are used to that. Good, bad, indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
The only maybe asterisk here would be that they probably didn't have a lot bad go wrong if they're in the NFL. So
True.
In high school, they were probably pretty damn good and got a lot of that. Hey, nice work. We love you. You're the greatest. In college, probably the same thing. And now the NFL, where it's not working out, or as well as you thought, and you're facing some adversity for the first time, maybe in your playing career, which does happen. Maybe that's where it gets amped out. Like, how am I going to handle that? Or if you're a coach, are you concerned that they're handling it the right way? If you're a parent of that person, can they handle it the right way? So it's like, to get back to the quote that you just shared with us, Trey Lance, like, his response doesn't, like, I believe him. I mean, a guy's been criticized probably since he was like in 8th grade. Every move he's made.
Yeah.
Whether he's going to be a 3-star, a 4-star, a 5-star, you know, especially where he went to school. Some people, it wasn't like everybody was in love with Trey Lance. People have doubted Trey Lance, and can he do it at the next level and this level for a long time. So, like, I believe him. And I just kind of believe it for this day and age. Like, I mean, we might get to a point where even high school kids know how to deal with some of the criticism. It's a little out of bounds to do that, like, I think.
Yeah.
But we might get to a point where they're so used to it, being in kind of almost in a public eye, in a social media kind of way, that it doesn't even bother them much.
Yeah. Think about Arch Manning or Drew Jones right now. Like, they're not getting a lot of criticism, but they're definitely in the spotlight.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's what I really do. That's a dangerous play for a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, because I think that can play with your psyche, and you're not wise enough, and you better have good people around you to lead you in the right direction. But social media is just something these kids now at even 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, if they want to get into it, have grown up around. Let's take a break. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live from Divoli's House of Cards here on a Wednesday.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
O'Reilly. Get ready for summer vacation now at O'Reilly Auto Parts with up to a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries. With the power, performance, and reliability your vehicle demands, Superstart batteries are made to deliver long life and consistent starts. Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com. It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of Gator Bowl Sports. For the past 76 years, Northeast Florida has been host to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl and events. When televisions tune into Jacksonville for kickoff, we want to be sure we showcase that Jacksonville supports college football. From buying a ticket to the game, making a donation to send local deserving children to the game, or volunteering, I would ask that you consider supporting this great local tradition. To learn more, visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you, that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out our brand new show, The Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors, right here on ESPN 690 on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. If you like golf, you're going to like this show. The Dream 18 Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
When you start scouting a Golden State Warrior, all of the coaches I've played for, even the younger, coaches like, Fizdale and all those coaches, one of the things we say is defensive discipline. And that's a key factor when you're guarding Steph one-on-one or in transition or in pick and roll or in any type of movement or any type of action with Steph and Clay. We literally had different rules when it was Steph and Clay in those situations as opposed to anyone else.
I don't know who that is, but I know they're talking about the NBA Finals.
Oh, you know who that is. You're just
That's
looking.
Your guy, Chris Canty?
No, it wasn't good enough take. But you're just looking for a way to disrespect this man. So anytime I see his name, I throw him in because I know you're going to get a shot about his restaurant.
Oh, that's Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Vince Carter. Vince Carter's restaurant survived longer than, well, I mean, heck, when you're making $18 million a year probably to sit 12th guy on the bench, still playing at like 40 years old, you can afford to keep your restaurant open.
True. I just know you usually take a shot at him, so I was like, I'll work Vince into the show.
I'm not taking a shot at him, by the way. I just thought it was real. Like, I thought every time you go down to Daytona, and I've said this too, like Daytona right now, it's right where the Buc-ee's is.
Yep.
Like that's where the restaurant, there's another restaurant there. I have no idea what the name of it is. But Vince Carter had a restaurant for like, every time I went to Daytona, it seemed like for a decade. And there were like 3 cars in the parking lot.
Yep, here you go.
Like every time.
Yep.
And now if Vince had kept it, like now it'd probably be booming because that exit's like super busy.
Yeah,
they built the outlets over there and Buc-ee's, and he'd probably be doing really well.
Probably.
But I would love to see, like, I don't know what they call it in the restaurant business, but eventually I'd like to see like what you would know as the bottom line. Like, how much business did they really do? And how much did he lose on that venture?
Yeah.
Because he probably did better than I think.
He would have to.
It just worked out that, like, every time I went by, not a lot of people were there, but maybe I wasn't going by on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights or something, you know, where it was a little more busy. That's it.
Okay.
Like, every time I got to talk about this every time because you bring it up. So that all our new listeners are like, what the hell are you talking about, Vince Carter? Why do you hate his restaurant?
Well, I'm just saying I
don't hate the restaurant. It was a phenomenon that it kept staying open.
You can't come into the show one day and be like, I don't know whoever ate there. Why would you eat there? There's nobody ever there. How'd it stay in business? I can't let that go for the rest of the time. So anytime I see Vince Carter sound, I don't care what he's talking about, I'm putting it in the show.
I don't think I actually ate there.
Of course you didn't.
Because I think we stopped in to eat there one time. So I've been inside, and there weren't a lot of people there. But it was way more upscale or higher price than like us just coming back from doing the Daytona 500 qualifier and the station paying for it.
So now you're going after this man's prices in the restaurant?
Well, no, I mean, that's fine. It was more upscale. Like, I didn't know. I thought it might be a true sports bar.
That would
but
make
I think
sense.
it was an upscale sports bar, which those exist. Probably it shouldn't have existed when it did and at Daytona exit. Anyway, we love Vince.
Do we?
And by the way, Vince, he doesn't care about his restaurant. He's serious. How much money? Go ahead. I want you to look this up. How much money did Vince Carter make in his career? I bet he made, let me guess. I bet he made over $240 million.
Nope.
Less? Like a lot less?
A lot less than 240, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, give it to me. I'm not going to guess.
171.
Yeah, that's pretty significant less. Now, listen.
But, I mean.
171's pretty good.
He don't need anybody to eat the restaurant ever again. He'll be all right, you know?
Yeah, he could keep that open as a landmark.
Exactly. And to your point, those last couple years where he never played at all, 2.4, 2.3, and the Kings paid him $8 million. I have no idea
is that
why.
all you make at the end? Like, you only make $2.5 million? You can get paid in the NBA $2.5 million?
Yeah, it's like the vet minimum in 20.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's probably gone up. I mean, that's the thing for Vince. Like, imagine if he, in his prime, like I'm looking right now, the highest yearly salary he was ever paid was $17 million by Phoenix in 2010, 2011. Imagine if he paid now. He'd be getting just stacks.
Well, see, maybe that's what I'm thinking. You know, like what I think of.
They paying everybody out here.
I think of J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick, was it like his second to last year?
Yeah, I know what you're
Then he made $23 million to go play with the Sixers?
Yeah, then he was shooting.
And he had a pretty good year too, right? Like, I think he was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he was serviceable.
But if I'm Vince Carter, I'm like, wait a minute. That dude, like, in his second to last year, made $23 million?
Yeah.
And I'm making, like, $2.5 million at the end of somebody's bench? Like, I'm Vince Carter.
Redick made $23 million in 2017, 2018.
Yeah, that's nuts.
He made 116 total in his career. And by the way, that 23 was the highest he ever got paid, ever.
Well, it was, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy money. NBA's crazy money.
A little bit.
Hey, speaking of the NBA, Celtics Warriors tomorrow.
Yep.
By the way, you can hear it on ESPN. So what are we doing? Are we joining that in progress, or are we playing that game one? Because we have the Shrimp as well, don't we?
We got the Shrimp in the afternoon.
Oh, that's an afternoon game tomorrow.
So we got Shrimp at 11:50. Coverage starts.
Oh, okay.
Then we got the show from 3 to 6.
Sports Jax on ESPN 690. That's what this one's called.
Yep. Then we got OT 6 to 7, and then we got basketball. I think it starts at 8.
The pregame starts at 8.
Yep. Tip-off's at 9. Yeah, that's what it is. Tip-off's at 9. Coverage starts at 8. So literally, a whole lot going on here tomorrow. And as far as I understand it, I'm the only one working.
Yeah. So you're not. Well, you are working.
I am.
You're doing the show by yourself tomorrow?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to make it sound like more dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the Shrimp game.
Like I would cancel Action Sports Jax overtime tomorrow night.
Probably should. Yeah.
Like why do 4 hours? You're doing the 3-hour show.
Just gotta.
3 to 6.
I gotta build the brand. Like there may be people that just tune in at 6. Brand. I don't want to let them down.
Oh, that's fair.
It's a different vibe. Like I yell sometimes, and I don't know. Just it's a vibe.
All right, Celtics Warriors.
Okay.
I'm not that fired up for it because I know how it ends. Like
Yeah.
the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't hate the Warriors, but I'm tired of the Warriors.
Here we go.
Are you tired of the Warriors?
The Mouthpiece, Vince Carter's Restaurant. What a segment.
Yeah. Are you tired of the Warriors?
No.
You're not?
No, not really, because they were bad for the last couple of years. One.
Yeah, but it's 6 out of 8, man. I mean,
no, I'm not. If they still had KD, maybe. I'm not tired of it because I think this was an interesting point. I heard Amari Sotomayor say it earlier on this station, but those are two teams that they drafted and built up. So besides the KD part of it, sure they got Wiggins, but Clay, Steph, Draymond, those guys they've been there. Jordan Poole, and then you look at Boston, it's Tatum, Brown. They drafted them. It's two teams that didn't really buy. Marcus Smart's another one. They didn't really buy their players. So I think that's intriguing on both sides. But, yeah, I'm not sick of Golden State because I got nothing against Clay or Steph. I like them.
That's a good point. I mean, it is nice that they – again, I applaud the heck out of Golden State. I don't hate them, despise them. They are one of the best constructed teams of the last 10 years that we've seen by far. But, I'm not a huge Celtics fan anymore. I'm not going to pretend to be. I don't follow them. Larry Bird's days are long past.
True.
But I'll root for the Celtics. But even if I didn't, I'd probably root for the Heat.
Yeah.
Because I'm just tired of the Warriors winning.
What do you more what makes you more angry? The Mouthpiece or the fact that Vince Carter's Restaurant stayed in business so long?
Really the Mouthpiece. Yeah, the Mouthpiece is so annoying, even though I like Steph Curry. And by the way, he ripped his gloves.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
During an off day.
Going
into the NBA Finals. I mean, you got to take care of business.
Priorities. He's got to play in the Tahoe.
I'll take a break. We're live from DeVoe's House of Cards. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
The Dream 18 card has had a record response in 2022. Golf courses are packed. More value than any discount golf cart in town with the Dream 18 card. The most inexpensive discount golf cart in town with the Dream 18 card. And now you can save more. Just in time for Father's Day. Get Dad an easy gift. Now just $55 while supplies last at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. That's ActionSportsJaxDream18.com for a $55 Dream 18 discount discount golf card. Discounted golf at 9 area courses and a few local businesses, too. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Get Dad an easy gift. Get Dad to the golf course. $55 in time for Father's Day. Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
That new doctor is drop dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another RV League educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
If you work remote, Staples has you covered.
A mid-mod desk chair to rejuvenate my ho-hum workspace.
Staples has you covered.
A place to put my papers so I can be more productive.
A storage cabinet that I can roll out of the way on weekends.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace solutions. And now get 25% off storage and filing products, chair mats, decor, and lighting with the purchase of an office chair or desk. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. N72, in-store only.
Get a $1,000 bonus when you pre-order the all-new 3-row 2022 Acura MDX SUV at your First Coast Acura dealers. Shop market-leading APR offers and pre-order savings at firstcoastacuradealers.com. Shop loyalty appreciation offers.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
4 hours away now from Game 1 of the NBA Finals. ESPN's Vince Carter describes how the Warriors and Steph Curry can cope with the defensive pressure of Marcus Smart and the Celtics.
Put them in pick and roll to get a switch, or make them fight over to at least give Steph a chance to keep Marcus Smart on his hip a little bit. So I just think, yes, Marcus Smart is going to be the dictator of a lot of things, good or bad, in this series.
Vince Carter on Key J and Max. The NBA Finals are on ESPN Radio and ABC TV. Texas A&M coach Jimbo Fisher says his public feud with Alabama coach Nick Saban is over. Fisher says he and Saban spoke before this week's SEC meetings, and they're now focused on trying to fix the problems in college football. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray on the practice field today during the team's voluntary offseason program. He did not attend OTAs last week. And Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs East Final tonight in New York, the Rangers hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Player that's been very productive in this league, and are in conjunction with the scouting department. Chris and myself and the rest of the scouting department, the coaching staff felt very excited to have the opportunity to add him to the team. He's a veteran presence, a guy that's been in big games, a guy that for a young team can be very impressionable, and a playmaker to boot.
Not doing well at this today.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
I'm a little
struggling.
rusty.
Give me Mike McDaniel, or Daniels, I mean.
I should get to know his voice.
Yeah, we're back in nothing going on season, Brent, so it's straight up whoever's talking.
Well, you're getting every coach to talk through OTAs, so that's a good sign.
That's true.
All right, we're getting a little crackly here. I got to play engineer as we welcome in Noah Schlicksup as well to Davoli's House of Cards.
Yeah, just walked in. Nice place you got here.
Yeah, pretty good. You still getting a buzz back there, Casey? We go live engineering on ESPN 690. You good?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a little hum, but you're fine. Like we've dealt with worse.
Okay, well, we got a high quality program here. So high quality that we engineer on the air.
Hey, man.
As we go. You know all about that, Noah.
Yes, I know way too much about it.
So Noah is, he just lives down the road. So I saw a couple weeks ago that you got a big event going on with the Jumbo Shrimp, by the way, or your home station for the Jumbo Shrimp right here on ESPN 690. So I said, hey, come on over, tell us a little bit more about it, and what you got going on. I think on Tuesday, right, you can buy some special tickets, go to a good cause.
Yeah, next Tuesday, June 7th, we're going to be doing a game at the Jumbo Shrimp Tourette Awareness Night. It's Tourette Awareness Month. I have what's called Tourette syndrome, so I make little noises and, okay, there we go, noises and sounds that I can't control, and it's pretty common. My younger brother has it, much worse than me too, but it's a pretty common thing, and me and my friend Matthew wanted to put together a couple events, and we're both big sports fans, and the Jumbo Shrimp were kind enough to lend us some tickets and a table. So all money we raise through those tickets will go to Tourette research and supporting a good cause while enjoying some minor league baseball. Not a bad night. Yeah, so, let's a couple of different things here. One, you guys moved from Iowa because of you and your brother and Tourette syndrome and the ability to get really good treatment in Gainesville, I think it is, right? Yeah. Is that kind of the backstory of how you guys got here? Yeah, UF has got some great resources, and originally we were actually going to move to Charleston, but then my dad's territory changed, so that kind of helped us out in this department as well. Now we're just an hour and a half out from Gainesville, and we can go get the resources that we need. That my mom calls it just a dead spot where we came from in the Midwest. There is nothing. We had to go all the way to Kansas City, 5-6 hours away to get the resources we needed, and it's been much better down here, and we've seen results. And I guess the other side of that is you also you have a budding broadcasting career. He does a lot of play-by-play. He does actually a lot for Creekside, football, basketball, baseball. We got to get him doing some softball, Casey, as well. Kaylee's getting jealous. But we need it. That way you can follow along, too. I'm saying. Casey followed along a lot now toward the end of the season. We got him hooked on Creekside baseball. That was exciting. That run Creekside was making. I was following the softball team. I couldn't go, and I was really frustrated. You couldn't follow it on Game Changer. I know. It's tough. But it's a hard thing. But that's why we like your YouTube channel. And you maybe even do some more games coming up this summer, maybe the Collegiate Baseball League in town, or we'll see. Maybe we'll bring you on the road for Ty's travel ball games. Anybody interested? Any takers? Any takers. He's looking for more action to call, for sure. But we talked to you. You called in from the road when you guys went up and visited back home, I think, in Iowa and Chicago. But you were talking about Tourette syndrome, so like you are kind of like a spokesperson of sorts, and only 15 years old. So, where were you talking, and who were you talking to do that presentation? When I called in, we were on our way from Iowa to Minneapolis, and they were holding the Tourette conference there. So, me and my friend Matthew are both what they call youth ambassadors. They got a program there that allows youth with Tourette to go. They train them to go speak in public about it, whether it's in the classroom, different events. It's a really cool little thing they got going there, and we were trained last year to do it, and these are some of the things, different events we're trying to do as a part of that program. So, using our voices is big. Up in Minnesota, we went to the conference. I got to speak a little bit there, share my story, and listen to others, talk with others. You don't get to meet very many people. Matthew was the first person outside of my family that I met with Tourette syndrome, and with him being a sports fan, we obviously clicked right away. We, decided, like I said earlier, why not combine our two favorite things, sports and, this is a pretty big part of our lives. So speaking out, creating awareness, and raising some money to help find a cure potentially is pretty big.
So where are they, and how much do you know about, from a cure standpoint, a research standpoint, the growth standpoint? I mean, so many different fields have come a long way in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. There's so many different milestones. What about with Tourette's? Like, how different is it?
Yeah.
In your knowledge, you're only 15, 5 years ago to today, or where it might be in another 5 to 10 years?
Honestly, that would be a question for my mom. She is
Probably,
big into this stuff. Special education, that is her thing. She loves speaking out and trying to help people with this. So she'd know more about that spot. There is no known cure right now. There are different medications you can take that can help with it, lower the tics. There are different, I've done CBIT therapy to help make, I used to have the squeak. I still have it, but it's less noticeable and less loud.
Because of the therapy?
Yeah, we do counteracting things. So, like, I'll stick my tongue up to the roof of my mouth and try to hold it there so Lil gets out. It's tough, but, I mean, it works for some, not so much for others. So there's no known cure. There are things like that you can do to help it. We take CBD gummies that helps lower tics, and then we've tried different things. Some work, some don't. It's really give or take.
I got you. So give us an idea what everybody can do to help out. Tuesday, it's June 7th. That's the Jumbo Shrimp game. You guys are going to be out there with a table, maybe wearing a similar shirt.
Yes.
But how do the people get involved? Where do you go to buy tickets, and how much are they, and where do they go?
So
where do the funds go?
Just $14 for tickets. You can email me at schlicksports@gmail.com. That is SCHLICK sports@gmail.com. And, we can get tickets lined up. $14 a ticket. And we ask that you wear teal. That is the color for Tourette. And all the money is going to a great cause. It's for Tourette research, trying to help find a cure for Tourette's and helping out the many across the country. Half of there are quite a few, 1 in every 100 children have Tourette syndrome or another tic disorder, and half of those cases go undiagnosed. So this is absolutely huge. It spreads awareness, and it helps find a cure with that money we raise from tickets.
Yeah, I remember talking to you guys in the past about that a lot of folks go undiagnosed.
Yeah, because some will say they're just doing it for attention.
Yeah.
They have control over it. Others will just not even realize it at all.
It's less severe potentially.
Yeah, there are mild cases. I am considered to have a pretty mild case myself. Hello. And, yeah, so there are some minor cases. Some will just have a tic disorder where it's not. To have Tourette's, you must have motor and vocal tics, which is motor is like movements you make, and vocal are, sounds. So you have to have those going for 2 years, and then you get that diagnosis. So some will just have, like, one or the other, and some may not even notice it. So this is huge, creating awareness and trying to help find a cure for it.
Good stuff. Noah Schlicksup. So we'll tweet out the Gmail. Again, give it to him again anyway, just so everybody knows.
schlicksports@gmail.com, SCHLICK sports@gmail.com.
All right. And so $14 a ticket, and a lot of the funds there going to Tourette syndrome research, and then go out to the game. That's next Tuesday, so June 7th at the baseball ground. So that's good stuff with Noah Schlicksup. While we're here, he knows how to talk some sports. Did you see, Casey, is Derek Jeter new to Twitter?
Yeah, he just joined.
Like, that was a real thing, right? Like,
That's real life.
Is that because, like, they're doing, like, a documentary on him or something like that?
Nah, bro, he finally realized he could go be a person.
So is this going to be like a Brady thing?
I hope so.
Because he's kind of having fun with it right now, right?
Yeah, he sent out some good tweets. Like, Jeter was always so weird to me in terms of he never jumped on the social media. Like, as it became big, like, it wasn't huge when he was playing, but, like, it's been huge since he retired. Never jumped on. Like, he always had to turn to Twitter, but he didn't run that, obviously, for his foundation.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's here, and he's arrived, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, and so he's off to a good start. You like it?
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to much.
I love
saw
Derek,
a little
though.
bit.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you're a big Jeter fan.
Yeah.
I like athletes on Twitter. It makes them more personable, and especially with Brady, I like him a lot more after seeing him having fun on that Twitter feed. It makes him, it's a fun way to interact.
Yeah, and so, well, that's what's interesting, because Jeter, as good as he was, and as legendary that he is, he's like no personality guy.
Yeah.
He's got zero personality.
I mean,
because he played it smart, by the way. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't have one, but he played it smart. He stayed out of the back pages. He was the ultimate 8 to 10 second soundbite guy that said absolutely nothing but gave you enough to feel like he said something for every media member in New York. He didn't get himself in trouble. He obviously remained very private in his life. Then he gets out of the game, and then that's, I think, where he got married soon after.
Yep.
But then he goes in the front office, where you kind of hide out in the front office. Now, you have press conferences and things, but you hide out in the front office, in sports. You can blend in, even if you're a huge name. And now he gets out of there with the Miami Marlins, and now he comes to Twitter, and we'll see if this is a thing. But, this is, the first time we will get to know – Derek Jeter, the personality.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild to go 25-plus years in the public eye, and we really have no idea if he's funny, likable, whatever.
I liked his book series for a long time. He has, a children's book
he does.
series that he wrote. I
and
really
you read
enjoyed
it? You liked it?
Yeah, when I was in, 4th grade, I read his books.
All
I
right.
really enjoyed them.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying he hasn't done good things, those kind of things, but even that, I don't feel like I know Derek Jeter. The Players Tribune is Derek Jeter's kind of thing. It's one of his deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, what he started or helped start or whoever's idea it was, but was very involved with that, and it was a good idea. But that doesn't tell me anything about Derek Jeter.
Well,
he's a smart guy, he's a good business guy, he's a good baseball guy. I know those things. But to your point about Brady, we really didn't know Brady's personality fully until the last 3 years.
Yeah, no.
And now we might find out Derek Jeter is kind of a cool guy, funny guy, somebody that's likable even though he wore pinstripes.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's nobody that really, in a fan perspective, there's nobody that can really say they know Derek Jeter. And that's fascinating for a guy that played in New York and is the megastar that he is, because you're right, there was no personality there. So I think the idea that he's going to, and he might not let you in, but the start shows that he might actually be a person, for lack of a better term, because for such a long time when you watch Jeter, you just were in awe, in my opinion, and you didn't really look at him as a person. Now, he's no longer an athlete. He's no longer in the front office. You're going to look at him as a person, learn more about him. I think it's a win-win.
Hey, you just said something interesting, Noah, and I like this from your age group especially. Now, you might be the oldest 15-year-old I've ever met, but at the same time, I like it from your age group. You're a big Cubs fan.
Yeah.
So, the Rizzos of the world and the Bryants of the world, now, the last handful of years before they unloaded all those guys, that was a fun time to be a Cubs fan. You can identify with those guys.
Yeah.
How much do you identify with players on social media? Do you have favorite guys that interact on social media, favorite athletes? Doesn't have to be a male athlete, can be female athletes that interact really well on social media that you find that you like them more because of that?
Well, I really like a female athlete I really like is Rike Gumbawale, basketball player.
Yeah,
WNBA.
from Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, her buzzer beaters are amazing.
Oh, her
She's
brother
just a great
Dare
player.
played with the Jags.
Yes, and then my little sister Maya loves her as well.
Very good. That's cool.
She's fun, but my favorite athlete that is on social media and interacts with people, Brett Phillips.
Oh, yeah, he's
is
good.
amazing. I love that guy from social media, and it makes you think of him as more than just a player. And I think that helps the athletes as well, because sometimes you talk about it all the time, fans tend to forget that they're human.
Yeah, yeah.
And once you see that side of them, it makes them much more likable. And, some people may ease off them, some may go hard. It may depend. But I really enjoy it because for that youth, that younger generation, it's much more exciting to feel like you know the guy a little bit out there playing. It's easier to get behind them.
Yeah, it's a good call. And, Casey, I mean, you're all over Twitter. I mean, I don't even know, like, if I ask this question to myself, like, who's my favorite person to follow on Twitter from an athlete standpoint? Like, I don't know if I have one. Like, I don't really.
I mean,
my favorite ever Twitter account was the Tiger Tracker. Like, that was the best. That was the best ever.
Yeah.
Then he retired. Like, I missed Tiger Tracker. It was awesome.
Is it back now?
No, like he just was like done.
No.
Like the Golf
No, it's
Channel
not.
basically like paid the guy, but he was terrific.
He's still upset about it.
Did you follow that, Casey?
Tiger Tracker?
Yeah, you remember him?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love Cubs Twitter, though. They got this Avia Shirts company, and they are just amazing. They make some great, just funny shirts, great one-liners. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh, man, they're awesome. And they're, like, big Cubs on Twitter. Like, I met the guy at a Cubs game.
Really?
They are around Wrigley, just opened up a store in Wrigleyville. They are a fun Twitter follow for anyone. Like, they made this shirt that any baseball fan, I believe, can get behind. Baseball needs more Tim Andersons.
Yeah.
And it's just funny little one-liners like that. They have, like, Oppo Taco, the Cubs right now. Frank Schwindel is a big guy. His nickname's Frank the Tank. They made a T-shirt with just this blue T-shirt, tank on it, Frank written on it.
That's it. Simple.
Simple but genius.
There have been some good ones. Like, actually, who was the former pitcher who used to do the Harry Carey? Was he on social media?
Ryan Dempster?
Dempster?
Yes. Oh, Dempster is the best.
Yeah. See, was he? But I think he was on social media, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
wasn't
is.
just like mic'd up guy in the bullpen.
And he does, like, a comedy show now, too. Or
Does he
did.
really?
Yeah, and he's hopped on a few Cubs broadcasts. I love that.
You know what's crazy is what's his name who's suspended? Bauer?
Oh, jeez.
No, he was good. Wasn't he good on Twitter?
Yeah, he was okay.
Controversial.
Yeah.
But like, because he would say anything.
Well, yeah.
You got to take this is pre this situation, but outspoken.
Yes, Bauer was a good follow. Yes,
but outspoken to the point where like he didn't care if he said something about Major League Baseball. Like you don't have that very often.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Local guy Mike.
And they got him back, by the way, or he got himself.
Yeah, he did.
But I mean, he's not playing.
Local guy Mike Clevenger.
I was going to say the same. Clevenger's an interesting cat, right? And on social media, he's pretty good.
I mean, you got the obvious ones that come to mind. Syndergaard's very good. Max Homa, obviously not in baseball, is very good. And then the one is obviously McAfee. If you still look at it as an athlete, McAfee's obviously incredible.
Yeah, I think it's morphed into a little different with him because it's now a brand, you know. But I hear what you're saying. Like, listen, the greatest example of what Jeter could be over these next couple of years to us is Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brady, like, lived in this different world for about 2 decades, and he was on this pedestal, almost rightfully so, as the greatest quarterback of all time. And now he's, like, come down to our level where he plays on social media with us.
One of us.
You know what I mean? Like, he's one of us. And he was, like, untouchable, but now he feels touchable. Like, Derek Jeter is in that mold. Mm-hmm. He played for the Yankees. He was very private. He won all these World Series. He's not, like, greatest of all time good.
But
he's
great.
like, he's got this, like,
don't do
he's like one of the ghosts someday. Like, you know, I mean, he feels like Babe and Mickey Mantle and Lou Gehrig. He feels like those guys in Yankees lore. And now he's going to, like, be one of us potentially. And we're going to see personality. Like, I think we really like that. Who knows? I don't know where this is going for Jeter, but it could be very reminiscent of Tom Brady, is what I'm getting at, Casey.
The only thing I don't like about Brady's Twitter, though, is that he only interacts with blue check marks.
I didn't even notice that.
I love guys like Jamal Agnew who will just interact with the casual fan.
Yeah, well, Jamal, Tom Brady, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamal.
I mean, listen, Jamal's a great guy, but Tom Brady might not want to have to interact with everybody else. At least he's interacting with somebody on social media.
That's true.
I'm just glad he's there.
But this will be really interesting to watch this unfold for you, Casey, because you are a big Jeter fan.
Yep.
Even though you're not a Yankees fan.
Yep.
But you're a Jeter fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, is this going to evolve your fandom for Jeter? Or is it going to have a negative impact? Like, do you like the mystery of Jeter and you don't even know it?
I don't think it will negatively impact it unless, like, he just turns out to be a really crappy dude.
Which I doubt.
Yeah, I doubt. Unless he starts tweeting some wild things. And even if they're, like, sort of wild that I think's funny, like, I'm with it. But there is something, to your point, about the mystery of it all with Jeter and kind of who he is as a person. Like, everything you've seen from him has been what he wants you to see, even with, like, Hannah and their family and everything. So, yeah, I think it will only grow my fandom for Jeter, pretty much no matter what he does, unless he starts talking mad spicy, but then maybe even too spicy.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see. You got to miss Dustin Johnson on the PGA Tour? He's going to play in the Saudi League. Did you know that? See? Nobody cares Dustin Johnson. NBA Finals.
Wow.
Celtics, Warriors. Who you got?
Oh, the Celtics won? I don't like the NBA that much. I just can't watch it anymore. It's not that competitive.
Like I told you, oldest 15-year-old around. There we go.
And Noah, this is what I've learned since I started working here. Fake it till you make it. People think I care about the NBA.
How about the NHL? Are you just a baseball guy?
No, I like football, college basketball I enjoy.
Yeah, you do like college basketball.
I used to like hockey a lot, but then the Blackhawks weren't good anymore.
Oh.
And all that stuff came out too.
Yeah,
but,
that's true too.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, but anyways, if I had to choose, I love what the Warriors, like when I have watched, they are a fun team to watch.
Yeah, they are fun and entertaining, that's for sure.
But I feel like it's the Celtics' time.
Really? That's interesting. I think that's a good call. I think the kids kind of like the Warriors, right? It's a fun style, Casey.
Not the LeBron kids.
No, but that's a little bit of a tricky thing. But it's a fun style of ball, and it is, like, beautiful to watch when it's effective.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many team sports. Like, Kansas City. Hasn't Kansas City felt that way? Football-wise?
The Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, we're like...
Yeah, you're flinging it all around.
Yeah, it's like when it's working, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, like that Monday night game that was, 59-56 or something.
Jared Goff, baby.
Like, it was like, holy cow, they're unstoppable. Or some of these playoff games where they've been unstoppable. It's a pretty thing to watch. Like, baseball's never that way. The ball doesn't move. I mean, the game doesn't move that way.
Yeah.
So, like, it can't feel like football and the NBA. Hockey can. Like, you've seen it. But the crazy thing is, like, your team, on the strength of goalie, is not like, that's not a pretty thing to watch necessarily.
Are you disrespecting the Lightning?
No, I'm just saying, like last night's game is more like when an offense is clicking like that and they're scoring all the goals.
Sure.
Is where you can get a little bit more, like, in rhythm and, like, it looks like poetry in motion, if you will. And I wonder if people feel that way about hockey. I don't pay attention to it enough to know, like, if I look at it that way. But I know you look at the Warriors sometimes. When it's clicking for the Warriors, that offense looks unstoppable, much like the Chiefs, much like back in the day the Patriots were, you know, when their offense was going and Tom Brady was engineering it. I think they're more of a complete team in Tampa. I don't think you see that much now in Tampa. But it's an unusual thing in sports where you can say, wow, that is, like, beautiful to watch.
Because they play like a team. I feel like in the
That's
NBA, it's such, like, a one-on-one type game. Who can score the most points, get, like, the biggest statistic? Who can do that? That's the biggest thing with the NBA now. It's such, like, it depends a lot on the stars. The Warriors play like a team. They share the ball.
And have stars.
And they have stars as well, guys that are fun to watch. But still, they play it as a team and not as, like, depending on the backs of these two players.
Yeah, well, they have, like, this perfect, like we say, perfect construction. They are perfect pieces for what they want to do, which, again, is interesting about, like, this is what we've said about Kansas City offensively over the last handful of years. They took one of those pieces away in Tyreek Hill. Is it going to look like that? And I would say probably not. I think you're going to feel the effects of that as you're watching, say, like the Kansas City Chiefs play a little bit. All right, Noah Schlicksup, thanks for stopping by the Boys House of Cards. And I'll share the Gmail account. You send an email to Noah, get a couple of tickets, $14 each. Get a lot of tickets if you want.
Mm-hmm. Please do.
You have a limited supply, I'm assuming.
No, we can get more if we need to.
Ah, there we go. See that? And raise some money for Tourette syndrome. Fill the stadium Tuesday night, and we'll help promote that a little bit more. So good thing you guys are doing. Have fun out there on Tuesday at the ball game, and have a good summer.
Thank you, Brent.
School's been done for you for a while.
Oh, I'm still going. I'm on a sophomore year Spanish now.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Hola.
I don't speak Spanish, but I get good grades.
speak Spanish, but I get good grades. Listen, next time we have you on, we're going to have to get at least a little Spanish out of you.
See.
Like maybe you could throw a call of a game in Spanish.
Oh,
No bueno. No bueno.
No. Come on now. We could get a good soccer call here. That would be good.
Go!
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right. We're live at Tivoli's House of Cards. We'll be right back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly sunny and hot today. An isolated storm well inland, well west of I-95 as temperatures reach the upper 80s, dropping into the mid to upper 60s tonight. And partly to mostly sunny and hot tomorrow. Your Thursday high in the low 90s. I'm TV meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds.
You can always get a bigger, better diamond for less at Beard's Diamonds.
Be yourself and bank your way at Community First. Get free checking with rewards, your paycheck deposited a day early, and free digital tools. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
I'm Marcus Roberts, a jazz pianist and a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB prepares students for a lifetime of success, allowing them to do more, be more, and achieve more. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
The Dream 18 card has had a record response in 2022. Golf courses are packed. More value than any discount golf cart in town with the Dream 18 card. The most inexpensive discount golf cart in town with the Dream 18 card. And now you can save more. Just in time for Father's Day. Get Dad an easy gift. Now just $55 while supplies last at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. That's ActionSportsJaxDream18.com for a $55 Dream 18 discount golf cart. Discounted golf at 9 area courses and a few local businesses, too. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Get Dad an easy gift. Get Dad to the golf course. $55 in time for Father's Day. ActionSportsJaxDream18.com.
Hello?
Hey, boss. I'm starting to freak out about Safe Touch Security.
What are you babbling about now?
I think they figured out how to see into the future.
What?
Maybe they're reading minds or something. I don't know.
Wow, Safe Touch is really getting to you.
I read on the Crooks R Us newsletter that most alarm companies send homeowners a video file of a crime after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, with Safe Touch Security, the homeowner gets notified before the crime's committed. I'm telling you, they're in our heads.
Calm down, calm down.
I'm calm.
Look, tell me the Crooks R Us golden rule again.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Right, so all we gotta do is follow the golden rule.
Gotcha. I think I feel better now.
Good. Now put on your big boy pants and let's go find some houses without Safe Touch.
When you choose Safe Touch, you get so much more than an alarm system. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. All this personalized service starting as low as $1 a day.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, You are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Sometimes the injury happens in a second, but sometimes it's as a result of the same motion over and over for many years. Let our team of lawyers take a look at your workers' compensation case.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
There are some things that Carson does that, not a lot of other quarterbacks can do. With his arm strength, his ability to throw the ball specifically vertically. So yeah, do I expect it to step forward? I do. I expect us to be able to really expand on what we've done in the past. This is first year with Carson as a QB1, but I do think we can develop and grow as a group together, offensive, defensive, special teams. But to me, it really does come down to winning.
It does come down to winning. Didn't know who that was either. Where are you finding this stuff?
The ESPN database, bro. He's talking about Carson Wentz. Who do you think it is?
Yeah, I know. I was talking about first and second grade over here, man. I'm easily distracted today here at Tivoli's House.
You really are.
We've got folks here left when I started. We're working on. We're going to do a little summer camp day.
What's
here.
going on? They ripping the new Prism or what? I heard that came out today.
No, Pokemon's new stuff came out Friday, so that's a big thing. Like I see new packages for Pokemon.
Oh. And you should open some Pokemon.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what I was looking.
Charizard.
You said you like Pokemon? You've done it?
I used to watch it. I have some Pokemon cards.
Some, right? But not like heavy.
Yeah, no. Like I have. See, if I would have took care of them, I'd be rich, bro.
Really?
Oh yeah, they were in a box in our garage for 7 years. They're all beat to heck and humid, and it's really it's not a good situation. But I have some that are expensive. So
does that bother you?
No. It's unfortunate, but how would I have known? As a kid, Chip Kurt said we got to get these out of the house, so he threw them in the garage. I don't know.
You never know. That's feels like a story of I'm not sure it's as crazy as Bitcoin pizza, but also feels the first couple Bitcoins were used to buy a pizza.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. You haven't read that story?
No, I don't read.
Well, you should read that story.
Okay. I'll put it on my list of things to read.
The 2 Bitcoin stories you got to read are the pizza deal, I forget how, I think it was 2 Bitcoins, but it might have been more. It might have been 10.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody paid it was in the state of Florida, and they paid 10 Bitcoins for a pizza. This was back in, 2011 or something.
Yeah, should have kept those, huh?
We'll do the math on that. That was a $300,000 pizza.
Yeah, just pay cash for the pizza,
The other Bitcoin story is the guy that somehow has hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But he can't find his password.
Oh, I've heard that.
And
I think you've told me that before.
wallet or something that he's on, you only get 10 times to try your password, and he's used 9 of them.
Oh, my goodness.
And he doesn't – so he's got one more try.
Yo, that
or
is
it's
nuts.
gone.
That's bad.
I mean, that, like
there's nobody you can call?
No, that's not the way. It's just the way it works. Like,
that's so bad.
It's amazing.
You know what I would do? Is I would pay like a top-notch hacker. Get in my thing.
Yeah, I don't think you can, though, man.
Sure you can.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Bro, they're hacking everything these days.
I think that's part of the whole crypto world, right? I mean, I'm not sure you can break into that stuff.
Gotta try. I mean,
well, he's only got one try. Guy breaking in.
Brutal.
But yeah, that is a.
How does he sleep at night?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, I don't think you need that kind of money, the amount of money that he's got. I don't know how much money you need. But the fact that you can't get any of it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Holy
I didn't
yikes.
sleep that well last night.
Me neither.
And I don't really feel like I had any problems going as I went to bed last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I wasn't thinking about anything, and I still didn't sleep well.
That's tough.
Can only imagine that guy. He hasn't probably slept in like 8 years.
No, never. He might never again.
I don't even know. Like, that's the I've heard that story now for 2 years. I don't know where it's at. Like, I don't know if he's tried a 10th time and it's gone or what.
Yeah.
But
The only time you're sleeping worse than when you're sleeping on 9 is when you're sleeping on locked out. That night you try number 10, it doesn't work.
yeah, that's probably worse. But maybe you just got to rip the Band-Aid, man. Forget about it.
No.
Or is hope better?
Yeah, I think I would just sit on it and hope that it'll come to me, to be honest.
Mark just said hope is better.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
Hope is better. That one day where you're going to wake up and that morning you'll be like, I remember.
Peppa Pig 11. I knew it.
Passwords are a crazy thing, really, in any. I mean, you try you kind of live in do you live in the same stratosphere with your passwords?
Oh, it's
right.
Should I? Yeah, it's
Like,
the
don't
same.
tell us, but
It's the same.
Well, I mean, but you got to mix it up. So, right, you use different letter, or different number, or different whatever. But you go through this cycle.
Yep.
Or I do.
And
so I tried to. So at least I think if I had 10 tries,
you could get it.
I think I could get it.
I could.
Because of that.
I know I could.
Now, the only thing that throws you off sometimes is once in a while there are those passwords that's like you got to use uppercase, you got to lowercase, a number, and the symbol.
Yeah.
The symbol gets you.
Not for me. I know my symbol.
Well, no, but if you have to change the symbol over time, now you're like, okay, what symbol am I on? Because I got a couple of go-to symbols, but then after 3, you're like, shoot. Which one was the 4th one or 5th one?
Yeah.
That's not easy down the list of symbols.
No.
But you gotta stay away from the bad people.
I'm telling you, I have one password that's completely different than the others because I don't even remember why. But anyway, PayPal and eBay used to work together a lot, so I had a lot of stuff going on with PayPal, and that's the password you would never guess in a million years because it's so random and nothing I've ever used before, and I forgot it for months. So I had tons of eBay money in PayPal. I couldn't get it because I didn't know the password.
Yeah,
I eventually got it.
Feel good.
I called
you
somebody.
Eventually got it. Well, you could call. See, yeah, I guess that's the one catch, but also the security measure.
I said, please help. I can prove I'm Casey. Nobody wants to be me. Please.
That guy, though, he does not sleep well at night,
No.
I can imagine. Or maybe he's learned to live with it.
I don't think so.
We talked about sports psychology a lot today. That guy definitely has had to visit one.
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah, absolutely. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz live at Davoli's House of Cards. I just had Noah Schlicksup stop by doing really cool things to help raise money and research for Tourette syndrome here in the Jacksonville area and beyond. Again, Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game on Tuesday. Tickets $14. You have to email Noah, schlicksports@gmail.com. He also wanted me to let you know about June 12th, which is next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, the next Sunday at Creekside High School. It's a free event. It's a 5K at Creekside. I think I heard that correctly. And 9 a.m. to raise awareness for Tourette syndrome. So cool to see Noah doing some good things there in the community and giving back and raising some funds for research, something that impacted his family really close. So do that if you can, and buy some tickets to the Shrimp, or also go out to Creekside on June 12th at 9 a.m.
I'll buy a ticket. I ain't running. I'm going to be honest. I'll be honest with you, okay?
Or you can be like an official.
I can do that, as long as there's no running involved. The 9 a.m. is steep.
You used to be an athlete, man. Can you do a 5K now?
No.
3.1 miles. You think if I just asked you right now, leave the station, you couldn't do a 5K?
I could not do a half K. No, I quit the sport solely because I didn't want to run.
Yeah, I know, but
like those polls, after a while, I was like, this isn't helping.
I think you've got the competitive spirit to be able to do it.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you, you're sadly mistaken. And if you bet on me, then don't come to collect, because I'll tell you what, you're not getting your money.
Throw it in the towel.
I mean, I wouldn't bet on it. That's all I'm saying.
You can have the whistle that gets the runners going.
I can do that. Now I can blow a whistle now. You know what I'm saying? I can support. I'm a good, hey, we can do it. One more. I'm a good, supporter, but.
Maybe you just bring the ESPN 10 out there.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could just chill.
I'll be down West Palm Beach, unfortunately, that day. Well, or fortunately, I'll be watching some baseball. We'll be back live from Tivoli's House of Cards, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
Key, J, and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
This man has just entered the gas price madness zone, pushed over the edge by skyrocketing gas prices. The remedy? Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Hey, wait a minute. Did you just say there's a free app I can get that'll actually pay me cash back on every gallon of gas I buy?
Yes. Escape the gas price madness zone with the Upside app and earn real cash back on every gallon of gas you buy.
Yeah. Enough of the theatrics. Just tell me more about this Upside app.
Okay, it's super easy. Just download the free app and use it whenever you buy gas. Upside users can earn hundreds of dollars in cash back.
Wow, thanks, announcer guy. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PICK for an extra 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PICK for a 25 cents per gallon or more bonus on your first tank.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a free sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Of all the multitudinous manifestations that water can take, in oceans and ice cubes, in glaciers and streams, vapors and rain, double black diamonds, lap swims, and brains. Of all that water everywhere, only 0.5% is fresh water available for human use. That's why at Moen, we're innovating to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030. Discover Mission Moen at moen.com.
I'm not going very far.
It's too uncomfortable.
I'm in a hurry. Sometimes I just forget.
There's no such thing as a good excuse for not buckling up. You're not only putting yourself at risk of injury or death, it could also cost you lots of money. Cops are writing tickets, so why take the risk? Do the smart thing and start buckling up every trip, day or night. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Poor Sam was a mess. Always itching, licking. His paws were soaking wet. He had bald spots on his back. DINOVITE.com. 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. Dynamite is nutrition. Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynamite from DINOVITE.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
We do have a size and versatility on the wings, and I think with who we are defensively against a really good offensive team, the benefit is having, obviously, Marcus and Jason, Jalen on the perimeter, but as well, you have bigs that they can't just pick on. Al, Rob, Grant, and everybody else, that we do use. It's a kind of a perfect storm as far as a matchup with all the offensive talent they have, the defensive talent we have, and I think our size and versatility bodes well for us as far as that. So I feel confident with a lot of guys guarding different players for them.
That Celtics side? Yes.
Yep.
Is it Coach?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I was wondering, I was like, is that Jason Tatum's voice? Or is it Ime Udoka?
There you go. Well done. 1 for 3.
Celtics and Warriors go tomorrow night. Gosh, why do they take so much time?
Yeah, it's dumb. I don't get it.
This is where, the NBA playoffs, I used to think it would be like a running joke, right? 2.5 months, 3 months. It's like, gosh, when will it ever end when it starts? But this is really the time frame where it seems like, okay, when did the Celtics wrap this thing up? Sunday? Saturday?
No, I was, where was I? Was I home or was I on the boat? I was home. I think so. Sunday.
Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I guess 3 days off doesn't. It just feels longer. Like that extra day. Like 2 days would be okay. The one extra, which is probably the right way to do it. Rest everybody up. Have everybody as full go as you can. Energized. Play for. That's probably fair to the player. Although I don't know when you're playing as an athlete, I think you'd rather almost play every day.
Yeah.
But again, you're talking. Al Horford's probably not saying that.
True.
He probably was like, yes, give me the rest, and I need the rest. And we always talk about recovery, so that's got to be a big part of it as well. Speaking of Horford, they go to the finals. He made $5 million because of that. You see that?
No, I didn't, but
and I think now Ty told me this. I didn't read this, but I think if they win the championship, he gets another $7 million.
Makes sense.
Now that's some nice bonus money.
Yeah, it is. There's somebody, I forget who it is, the bonus they lost. Oh, it was Dinwiddie. Did you see that? I think it was real. Spencer Dinwiddie, if the Mavericks won the finals, his bonus was $1.
Why?
Like less than a McChicken these days.
Why?
I don't know. That's what it checks out. Like it was all over like social media. So, one smack.
So, yeah, this is right. When he signed the contract with the Celtics, it was like a $95 million deal or $94 million deal, and he got $5 million if the Celtics made the finals, an additional $7 million if they won the championship. So $7 million on the line.
Like, I'm be honest with you, why do you put that in?
I don't know.
Like,
I think there's some parts of these contracts where, like, you don't need the money, and so you put some, like, fun stuff in there. Like, I genuinely believe that. Like, in fact, I would. If my contract was worth, like, that kind of money, I would be putting stuff in there just for the heck of it. Like, because you know you're not even going to need it, use it, whatever it.
Right.
Right? And so I wonder if that's it. Like, I don't know. I haven't read about it, so maybe there is a reason why.
Like, I wonder if they laughed at him, like, when he said it. Like, so just so you know, I'm looking at, like, a $7 million bonus if we reach the finals. They're probably like, we're not going to get there because of you, bro. It turns out they did. But, like, yeah. I'm sure when they brought that up, they had to be like, what are you talking about?
I think he signed this contract, too, like, back it was in let's see. I think it was back in 2019.
Yeah.
And it was initially with the Sixers.
Oh, that's right. He did get traded. That don't make no sense.
So that carries over.
That's
interesting.
I guess it would. That would make sense. It's your contract.
The other part of the contract stuff, you never know. Like we're asking why. Like, why would he put that? Seems like a lot. $12 million tied into championships and finals. So that seems a little more.
Just for Horford, yeah.
Yeah, that seems bigger than we've seen $1 million bonuses for coaches and stuff like that, but that seems like a lot. I wonder if some of that is to get the contract to a certain point, you know? So this is a $109 million contract. Maybe he wanted to push it over $100 million, and that was the way to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or maybe it makes you the highest paid guy at age 33, or, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but there's all sorts of reasons. I think, again, if you're talking about that kind of money, I would have my agent put in some fun stuff.
Yeah.
I want, if we go to the finals, I want, Swedish Fish for life.
That's something.
You think they would do that?
It's probably cheaper than $7 million. So, yeah.
I don't know. I eat a lot of Swedish Fish.
Well, that is true. I don't know. I guess if it were me, I wouldn't put it in there. If we go to the finals, I'd be like, if I, have a crazy amount of steals or blocks. Not points or assists or rebounds, whatever, because that's, the thing. But something that's kind of, off-brand, because Al Horford didn't really control them going to the finals, you know?
Yeah, well, that is true.
I'd be like, if I somehow become a thief and I'm stealing balls left and right, then I need my $7 million. Because then you can at least work on it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you also want to put something that's attainable.
Well, yeah.
True. I mean, you want to make it as easy as you can.
Maybe that's where the Swedish Fish comes in. I'll take the money if we go to the finals, but low-key, if I'm swipe or no swiping, I need the Swedish Fish.
But how advantageous was this for the Celtics in the long run? How hard – I saw Al Horford, running through people in Game 7.
He wanted his money, bro.
Heck yeah. I mean, you're talking about a win for $5 million. I don't care how much you have. That's $5 million just to get a W.
So let me get that $5 million. Send the wire over immediately.
That's the other thing. When does that happen?
Now.
It's Monday morning. $5 million. Wait, that was a holiday. See?
I'd be like,
there are no holidays in crypto. I would have put it in crypto.
I'd have been like, holiday, schmoliday, bro. $5 million. Let's go. Write a check. Cut the check.
Man, football at 5. Hey, there is going to be a former Jags kicker kicking for the Jacksonville Sharks on Friday night.
Intriguing.
A little name from the past joins us coming up in football at 5 on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at Tivoli's House of Cards here on a Wednesday.
If you're involved in a legal dispute, call me, Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
The Dream 18 card has had a record response in 2022. Golf courses are packed. More value than any discount golf card in town with the Dream 18 card. The most inexpensive discount golf card in town with the Dream 18 card. And now you can save save more. Just in time for Father's Day. Get Dad an easy gift. Now just $55 while supplies last at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. That's ActionSportsJaxDream18.com for a $55 Dream 18 discount golf card. Discounted golf at 9 area courses and a few local businesses, too. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Get Dad an easy gift. Get Dad to the golf course. $55 in time for Father's Day. Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Hello?
Hey, boss. I'm starting to freak out about Safe Touch security.
What are you babbling about now?
I think they figured out how to see into the future.
What?
Maybe they're reading minds or something, I don't know.
Wow, Safe Touch is really getting to you.
I read on the Crooks R Us newsletter that most alarm companies send homeowners a video file of a crime after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, with Safe Touch security, the homeowner gets notified before the crime's committed. I'm telling you, they're in our heads.
Calm down, calm down.
I'm calm.
Look, tell me the Crooks R Us golden rule again.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Right. So all we gotta do is follow the golden rule.
Gotcha. I think I feel better now.
Good. Now put on your big boy pants and let's go find some houses without Safe Touch.
When you choose Safe Touch, you get so much more than an alarm system. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our family of skilled operators is always there for you and your family.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. It means that when you hire us, you get a legal army. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Our friends over at Arlington Toyota want to know, what drives you? How about great service? Or what about getting more with your purchase? Then prepare yourself for the drive of a lifetime when you buy from Arlington Toyota. Arlington has over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty with your purchase, plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. What drives you is what they do at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
It's the perfect season for a powerful business upgrade with Dell Technologies Summer Sale Event. Save up to 45% on secure PCs built for business with Windows 10 Pro. You'll also find great savings on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and other accessories to help boost productivity, plus enjoy free shipping on everything. Take the lead with Windows 10 Pro devices. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL for business specials during Dell's Summer Sale Event.
So in life, throws you uh-ohs. Just save, better get Mako.
And visit the paint and auto body experts at Mako today.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Round game one of the NBA Finals in San Francisco tomorrow night for the Celtics and the Warriors. Boston coach Ime Udoka.
It's a kind of a perfect storm as far as a matchup with all the offensive talent they have, the defensive talent we have, and I think our size and versatility bodes well for us as far as that. So I feel confident with a lot of guys guarding different players for them.
Ime Udoka, every game of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and ABC TV. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Washington Commanders owner Daniel Snyder have been asked to testify at a congressional hearing 3 weeks from today. A House committee is investigating the Commanders' hostile workplace and the league's role in setting standards. Baseball finals today. The Mets make it 6 wins in a row, shutting out the Nationals 5-0. Tomas Nido drives in 3. The Guardians shut out the Royals 4-0 to sweep that 3-game series. Cardinals beat the Padres 5-2. And Ukraine, in its first game in 6 months, wins a World Cup qualifier today against Scotland 3-1.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios. This is Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence. Because the upgrade coaching-wise is so significant, right? I mean, like whatever happened with Doug Peterson at the end in Philly, he's a coach that's had success with quarterbacks. He knows how to coach them. And Lawrence last year was a complete fiasco. So he's going from like way under zero to actually something really good. I think he'll make a big jump.
That Dan Orlovsky? No, that's
No.
I meant no. I didn't mean Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
I meant Graziano.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's him. Talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Quarterback, Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Trevor Lawrence through the next couple months. What's your gut say, really, about Trevor? Is he going to make a big jump?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have to?
Well, like,
I mean, he had 12 touchdowns and 17 picks.
Yeah, he's going to take a jump. Like, I don't know if it's massive, but, like, he's not going to turn it over 17 times. That's what I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either, but I'm really more like, well, he ain't going to throw just 12 touchdowns.
Agreed.
You know, it's hard to throw just 12 touchdowns.
Sure. It is. No, 100%. But it happened.
Yeah, year two can be a really big jump year for quarterbacks, for coaches, for everything. I wonder if somebody did like a study on sports, year 1 to 2, like, is it cliche-ish? That's even a word. Or is it reality that you see the biggest percentage? Like if we're looking at it like a stock, would you see the most percentage of a jump 1 to 2 in coaching, in playing, across the board, in all sports? In like, let's just say like a build of a team, year 1 to 2. I don't know. Like it feels that way because we have a lot of examples that pop in our minds. Again, most recently from the Mahomeses and Lamar Jacksons of the world who were like MVPs in year 2 to coaches like in the college game. I think if you go to like Mark Richt was like his best year, Georgia, year 1 to 2. I think go back to Bob Stoops, 1 to 2, won the national title that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma.
Even Mullen.
It
didn't get very far, but, you know, that second year was good.
So I just wonder if does it just feel that way because we know examples exist of it, or is that reality? And then what I would say is, like, what's a big jump? Like, I think he's going to take a significant jump. Well, that ain't that hard, Brent. Threw 12 touchdowns. He had the most picks in the league. He was surrounded by just a mess, and they won 3 games. If he takes a big jump, well, heck, he could, I mean, that's 7 wins. That's 24 touchdowns, which is still pretty average in the NFL. Maybe drops to 12 picks. Like, if we put those seasons next to each other, like singularly, if we say, hey, Jags won 7 games, Trevor had 24 touchdowns and 12 picks. If we say they're like, okay, well, that's cool. Now, if we say he went from 3 to 7, 12 to 24, and 17 to 12 on the picks, well, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's really good. It's going to be an interesting way to look at it. Like, what seriously is a big jump? And could it be a huge jump from a statistical point of view, maybe even more than the wins, because last year was an outlier in his career. I think people bring up the recently I saw on social media the Troy Aikmans, and maybe it is the Peyton Mannings, where that year was such an outlier, and it happened to be year 1, that everything in comparison is going to look way better. And there's a possibility that exists here in Jacksonville with Trevor, because it was such a mess, and so many things went wrong, and they didn't put him in a position to be successful. So if he's really as good as we all think he is, can be, and everyone hopes, then, like, he wasn't supposed to ever have a season like that.
True.
Ever. and he just happened to have it in his rookie year and will go down his worst year, like, by far.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's real. I think that's absolutely a possibility here for Trevor. Again, I don't think Trevor and the Jags are going from 3 wins to 11 this year. That's unrealistic. So even if they went 3 wins to 7, plus 4 is pretty good. But could Trevor go from 12 touchdowns to 30? I think it's possible.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Well, no, like how many? Okay, we're going to have Mike Hollis on here. While I'm doing that, I would like to know how many quarterbacks had 30 touchdowns last season.
I can work on that for you.
Because I don't think 30 touchdowns is like this astronomical number in the NFL. I might be a little wrong, so maybe I should be at more like 26 or 27. But, like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's sunshine and rainbows. Well, of course, it's a little sunshine and rainbows. To say Trevor could be 12-touchdown guy to 30. Because I think it's much more of an anomaly for a guy starting quarterback in the NFL in today's day to play 17 games and throw 12 touchdowns.
Sure.
Way more of an anomaly than a guy throwing 30 touchdowns, I think. But let's get Mike Hollis in right now. He doesn't have to worry about touchdowns anymore. He just worries about extra points, and now he's going to worry about them with the Jacksonville Sharks. Mike Hollis, you're coming back, baby. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I kicked the ball.
Still. How did this come about? Now, listen, so Friday night, you're going to kick for the Jacksonville Sharks. Like, this is a real thing. Like, I once played for the Jacksonville Giants a couple of times in a basketball game. That was, like, real, but it kind of wasn't. But this is real. Like, you're kicking for the Jacksonville Sharks as their kicker on Friday night. I know you almost, like, tried doing this full-time earlier in the year, and it didn't work out. So how did this one come about, this opportunity?
Well, it was just kind of a continuation of, the initiation of the Sharks, training camp. When I first got there, I kicked and competed against Brandon Bear, who did well. He deserved that opportunity. He was a kicker for the last previous 3 or 4 years, and has done very well in the arena leagues. But I early on, before training camp started with the Sharks, I was kind of contacted by one of their owners, Nick Furis, and I had messaged him last year about getting one of my kicking, academy clients into the arena to kick around, and that's all I was kind of saying. And I kind of did mention, like, I'd like to put my shoes on and see what I can do too, just kind of joking around. Well, fast forward a few months and into the next year, Nick Furis actually sent me a text, said, "Hey, were you serious about that last year, that what you said about kicking?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I was serious about getting my guy in there, but yeah, I'd like to play around a little bit." And he goes, "No, really, can you kick?" And I said, "Well, yeah, of course I can kick. I've been doing this for 17 years with my academy, and doing my thing. It's like just like riding a bike. I don't ever forget it." So, fast forward from that point on to training camp, and they went with Brandon, which they should have. He did better than me. He had a stronger leg than me, and when they released him, they picked up Cody Parker from Arizona, and he's done fairly well. And then last week he did really well, and so I was told that I might get a phone call. I'm not sure if they were just a little concerned about maybe his previous games, but he kicked lights out last week, and so I'm thinking to myself, well, clearly they're not going to call me now because he did really well, and sure enough, they called me. But I think I showed Coach Burley that I was capable of playing at this level, and even at my age, and I was 49 back in training camp, and now I'm 50. But again, I've been in shape. I've been kicking. I've been trying to stay as young as possible, and I feel great. So why not?
That's awesome. Mike Hollis with us, former Jags kicker. And you had some back injuries, though, right? And is that kind of past you a little bit? I mean, you're all fixed up, healed up, ready to roll, and that hasn't limited you staying active, like even though you have the academies and you're teaching and all that stuff over the years?
Yeah, the back issues have not I haven't had any issues with it at all. Honestly, I think the everyday kicking like I did in the NFL and, constant workouts and a lot of, there was a lot of pressure on my body just to maintain the level of play that I was capable of doing. But when you take some time off, you let your body heal quite a bit. I used to wear an ankle brace on my ankle when I was kicking because my left ankle was so kind of weak and I had some other issues with it, but I don't wear that anymore either. So I'm feeling good. Like I said, I think it's just I gave my body a chance to rest enough, and I have been the last, like I said, 17 years kicking enough and learning a lot about kicking more than I even knew when I was playing. So I'm teaching these kids new things that I'm even kind of new to, and a while ago I actually had kind of mentioned to some people like, man, I think I can kick better than I did when I was playing in the NFL. Don't hold me to that, but I do feel a little bit more controlled and mechanical than I did when I was playing. And, this is a great opportunity really for me to show my clients that the form does work. And really ultimately what I'm trying to say is that at the age of 50, if you're an athlete and you're trying to just rely on athletic ability at the age of 50, I don't think you're going to be as good as if you're someone who really focuses on technique way more than athletic ability. And that's what I've been doing for the past 17 years. So I'm kind of right where I want to be. I think this is going to be a blast, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. How much pressure will you put on yourself here? Again, this isn't like a gimmicky thing. You're trying to help the Sharks win a football game Friday night, and it'll be at the arena at 7 o'clock. But, I mean, the whole thing, man, I mean, again, you've been kicking a little bit. You've been around it a lot. But you're going to have the nerves going a little bit again, the competitive nature of it. I mean, heck, the goalposts are different anyway, right? So, I mean, the whole thing will have a different feel probably than you felt in a very long time. Will you put some pressure on yourself, or are you just like, hey, let's just go see what happens?
There's always pressure on myself specifically because I'm a competitive person by nature, but not necessarily, in my position, I'm not competing against any one specific person or a team. I'm really competing against myself, and I'm a perfectionist too. So you combine all that together, and I'm out there, and I treated the same way when I was playing the NFL. Clearly I want to help my team win. Clearly I want to help the coaches win and make that the fans happy and the community happy because we're winning games because I'm making some kicks. But it all comes down to how I feel about my performance. I want to do well for myself, not in a selfish way. I want to do the best that I can specifically, and if that is good, if I do good for me, then clearly I'm doing good for my team and my community. So the approach is no different, and you brought up the fact that, the arena goalposts are a lot smaller. They're half the size of the NFL. Is that going to change the way I kick? No, it's not, because of my mentality and the way I've always thought, both not only as a NFL player back in the day, but also as a coach. I teach my clients, listen, if you get this technique down, you don't have to worry about make it or miss a kick. You just have to focus on your technique and do everything right, and you already know you've made the kick. And that's a big problem for a lot of kids, especially when they're aiming small, like the arena goalpost, obviously. When you aim small and miss small, that old analogy a long time, that people kind of use that. Yeah. I don't like that because it teaches kids how to steer and guide and direct a football when you really shouldn't. You should, and again, that goes back to that athletic ability aspect. When you get into that part where you're trying to make a kick and getting real careful and kicking it careful and just really trying to make that kick, then you're not doing things that you would normally do in practice, and you're not really relying on your form and technique. You're relying on your athletic ability to steer the ball. And I'm 50, and I do have some athletic ability, but I want to rely on my technique way more than my athletic ability.
That's awesome. Mike Hollis, former Jags kicker, kick for the Jacksonville Sharks this Friday night. We appreciate him taking a couple minutes here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and our Football at 5 hour. Mike, what you mentioned the goalposts, which – just in general, let's take away the technique and your approach, but in general, like in arena ball, does that take away the draw or sometimes that slice, which I think Josh Scobie's told us before, by the way, when you do that a lot of times, that means you miskicked it, like you're not intending to do that, and I don't know if I have that right. I don't want to put wrong words in Scobie's mouth, but is it different from the NFL because of the size than the Arena League where guys might shape it?
What Josh had mentioned to you is perfectly accurate. When you see a draw or maybe a slice of some sort, usually that's a mishit. I don't ever want to rely on bending a football through a goalpost, and that clearly I don't have to deal with any wind. Indoors, there's no wind or rain or any weather conditions. So if I miss, it's on me. I can't give that as the excuse. The wind pushed it. No, I can't do that clearly. So the onus is on me to make the kicks and kick them true. And again, as a kicker, if you have good technique and you're able to hit a ball straight, high, and far, that's your goal. That's what you want to do every single time, and there's no guessing at that point. You hit a true ball. If it goes straight, great. Now, if you do hook it, then that is you clearly indoors. That's something that you mishit in your form or technique.
Yeah, Mike Hollis with us. Let me do a little lightning round with you. How about the football? I've never asked this question. We've covered the Sharks before, but how different is the football?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up because they came up with a new ball this year. It's called the deuce, and it's supposed to be good for kickers kicking kicking a field goal from a kickoff. That's what they call the deuce. You get 2 points if you put it through the uprights on a kickoff. Well, this ball that they've created this year is awful. And early on in the season, I think, and this is kind of an assumption because I've kind of been hearing from other kickers around the league, that they complain so much about this new ball that it doesn't go anywhere. It's just, and I've kicked it. It is awful. It truly is awful. They went back. So ultimately what they're doing is they're using that new ball that they have. They're using that for offensive plays and, regular play. But when it comes down to kicking, plays and positions they actually give an older ball. They put an older ball, an older arena ball, give that to the kicker to kick on kickoffs and also on field goals. So that ball is historically a good ball as far as it's got good bounce. It'll travel. I think they do travel a little bit further than an NFL ball. So kicking that deuce, like I mentioned, is the equivalent of kicking a 58-yard field goal. However, the crossbar on the arena goalpost is 5 feet higher than the NFL or college or high school. So you've got to kick it a little bit further. So it really ultimately is the equivalent of kicking about a 61 or 62-yard field goal on a kickoff. So I do get a run-up, but, that'll be to be determined if I can hit those deuces. And we'll see. It's good. Those balls do travel. I was in practice today in the arena and hitting some pretty good balls. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. Mike Hollis with us. So if this goes well, do you walk across the street to the Jags or your old place of employment and say, hey, who's your kicker? Because quite frankly, we don't know if they have one right now.
Yeah, and believe me, you're not the first to ask that question. These guys these days in the NFL are a different breed. These guys are incredibly athletic and kicking the ball really, really well. I would be far-fetched to say that I would be able to compete against those guys. So I probably won't. I would rather stay indoors and chill out as an old man.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But is there a level of pride right now for you, 50 years old? You're in good shape. I've seen you and to be able to do this? I mean, is there a little self-satisfaction? I can do this still at this age. Is there any play like that has you interested in this moment?
Yeah, there is some self-satisfaction, and I kind of just have always had that when I'm, demonstrating for my kids, when I'm coaching them, and kind of impressing myself a little bit in a way. But obviously I'm not an arrogant guy, but I'm like, wow, I did that pretty well, So. Yeah. There's some of that there, but again, I can't get too crazy in thinking that way. And again, I'm just out there. I want to have some fun and just focus on my form and technique and show people really that the sky's the limit with regards to what you can do. And I'm getting a lot of messages, even recently, of people talking about how it's an inspiration. So people are capable of way more than they think, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike Hollis with us. Hey, you mentioned it. Today's a different breed NFL. Why is that? Like, why are kickers so different? What is it? Is it weight room stuff? Is it training methods? Is it analytics? Like, why is the kicking game changed to the point where, like, hitting a 55-yard field goal isn't really even cool anymore to the outside world?
Yeah, well, boy, those were the days when you can hit a 50 and be congratulated and, jump up and down and stuff because it was a big deal. Now it's not. The old 50 is now the new 60, the thing is, it's a combination of all the things you probably said. I think there's a lot more attention to detail with regards to the coaching I'm not going to say that all the coaching out there is correct. In my opinion, there's a lot of things that are still being done wrong with regards to kicking technique and things like that. But I think just the combination of guys getting, taking a more serious approach to kicking, because there are opportunities out there to get coached, not like there were back in my days. Even like through high school, there was only like one kicking academy out there, and now there's hundreds. And I'm saying, I'm being serious. There are hundreds out there. Now there's a lot of bad ones and there's some good ones, but ultimately guys are taking a lot more serious in kicking and in the long snapping as well. So now you've got these academies that are working with specialists in general. So they're working with kickers, they're punters, and snappers, long snappers, and they're making it kind of a package deal where get your kicker and your punter and your snapper in, and we'll work with them. And so it's becoming more of a, obviously with the snappers now, that wasn't really necessarily a big deal back in the day. We just had guys on the team that could snap. Now they have specialists that snap. So coaches are taking a lot more serious, I think, and there's a lot more games have come down to missed field goals and made field goals and so forth. So I think there's just more attention to it, and the way people are training now and things have advanced so much. So like I said, a combination of all that stuff, put that together, and you got these guys that just, like, Justin Tuckers of the world, kick 66-yard field goals, no problem.
Yeah, and hardly misses. You just hit on something, but again, I'm going to bring up Scobie. We've had him on a bunch of times, and especially when the Jags were struggling at the kicker spot. And he brought up a point that fascinates me, and they have a million coaches on NFL sidelines, yet they put the special teams coach in charge of everything special teams, even though that guy doesn't know a lick about kicking, probably, punting or placement kicking. And it's an excellent point. Like, why don't you have somebody that is designated to work with, like, your kicker and your punter that's done it before? I think, in fact, Tucker, and I think he mentioned the Ravens are, like, the only one that have it. So it's a good point, and maybe that's a trend. Maybe that's where we're going, because they've seen the success of that, where a guy like you, Mike, will have a job in the NFL coaching a kicker, like a guy that's actually – doing it and knows how to do it and some of that technique stuff.
Yeah, that would be ideal. And believe me, one of the first things I did when I officially retired was write a letter to Wayne Weaver and ask him, hey, listen, I'm officially retiring. I'd love to be a kicking coach. And, he passed it along to the coaches, and that was kind of squashed, of course. And, I don't know why. It's like having a swing coach as a golfer, like Tiger Woods. Why, is he so good that he doesn't need a coach? And, of course I bring up Tiger Woods, but there's all kinds of great professional golfers there that have swing coaches. Even as good as they are, they still use a coach. And so a lot of it has to do with what, me as a kicker, kicking a ball, I can't see sometimes what I do. I can feel sometimes like, I stepped wrong, or I did something with a different step, or the rhythm was off or something. But a lot of times it's the eyes behind you that actually are able to see the things you're doing right and wrong. It is a shame that there's not as many kicking coaches out there as I think there should be. Every NFL should have one. I got a call from a guy by the name of Kenny Spencer, who played many years in the Arena League, and he's actually now the kicking specialist coach for Michigan State University, and he's turned those kids into just monsters, both kickers and punters. And I think Mel Kiper put Michigan State punter at the top of the highest specialist predicted to be drafted next year in the next year's NFL draft as a punter at Michigan State. And Kenny was telling me that those guys gave up on him, like, he's not good enough, just don't work with him, look for somebody else. And he's turned him around, and he's lights out good now, like really good. So it is a big deal. Hopefully one day it'll happen. I know there's probably like 4 or 5 NFL teams that have guys that they have as consulting. I think the Ravens have a full-time, kicking coach, but it's a shame, and it should happen.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike Hollis, I thought I was going to keep you for a couple minutes, but I've enjoyed the conversation. We appreciate you taking the time, kicking for the Sharks this week at 50 years old. It's Friday night at the arena. And I'll leave you with this, because you do have your academy. How good are today's kids? Like, is this area we've had spells of people, like, there have been really good kickers a few different years. Bartram's had a couple of excellent kickers. In fact, I know they have Bartram Trail I'm talking about, have a good one now. I think he's Liam Padron. He's going to be a junior, I think. Fletcher's had some really good kickers over the years. Like, is this a good area, high school-wise, youth-wise, when it comes to kicking and the people you're working with?
It is, and there's a lot of teams that have taken advantage of the kickers that are pretty good around this area. And of course, there's 60-something high schools around here, probably more than that, about 70 now. So there's a lot of opportunities for kids to kick. But you do have those schools that have coaches that don't really like to kick a whole lot. So you could have a kicker that's pretty good but doesn't get a lot of opportunity to kick in a game. But just overall in general, kickers are getting pretty good. And whether they've come from my academy or someone else's academy, these kickers are good. And I'm excited to see these kids perform well. And, parents are taking a lot bigger look at getting these kids in for training, because ultimately it's kind of an investment on their end, because, if little Johnny gets a scholarship, to go to a big school, then they don't have to pay for their school. So they treat it as an investment. So it's a good deal. And I love coaching, and I love the best part of coaching is to see the success of the guys that we've worked with.
Yeah, it's really cool. You've been able to stay tied into the game, and who knew you stay tied in so much that now you get another opportunity to play all these years later with the Jacksonville Sharks. What's the best way for people to find you with your academy if they want to get involved?
Proformkicking.com, or I usually tell people just Google my name. It's probably the first thing that'll come up on the Google results. But, proformkicking.com. Proform Kicking is all my social media handles, so that's it.
All right. Well, by late Friday night, the number one thing when we Google Mike Hollis might be game-winning field goal for the Jacksonville Sharks. So I might bump the business down for just at least a day or two.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that.
All right, man. Good luck Friday night. Thanks for jumping in with us, and have a lot of fun.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You bet. That's Mike Hollis, former Jax kicker. That was a pretty interesting conversation with him about even the switch to the rules from the NFL way and everything else to the Arena League. Should be a fascinating watch and a pretty cool thing. Sharks have struggled out of the gates this year. They're used to a ton of success here in town, and now they get at least a little bit of a bump here from Mike Hollis, who carries some intrigue going into Friday's game for the Jacksonville Sharks. Again, 7 o'clock at the Arena. Appreciate Mike's time and talking a little kicking on the Arena level and the NFL level as well. We take a break. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 football at 5. I'll go back to Trevor Lawrence a little bit, and I know Casey did some research during that interview. How many quarterbacks last year threw 30 touchdowns, and is it possible that Trevor gets to that milestone in year 2 from 12 to 30? Or is that unrealistic? We talk about it on ESPN 690 when we come back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear tonight and nice. We'll drop into the upper 60s. A hot Thursday. Plenty of sun tomorrow and highs near or a little bit above 90 degrees. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds.
Beards has higher quality diamonds for less money than any other store.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold. Deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut, take 2, action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
Spring deals are making moves at your First Coast Acura dealers with $1,000 in down payment assistance and market-leading APR offers when you pre-order the 2022 Acura RDX crossover SUV. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com. Shop loyalty appreciation offers.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro Refrigerant and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate, plus earn double O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro Refrigerant products. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro Refrigerant at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
I'm not going very far. It's too uncomfortable. I'm in a hurry. Sometimes I just forget.
There's no such thing as a good excuse for not buckling up. You're not only putting yourself at risk of injury or death, it could also cost you lots of money. Cops are writing tickets, so why take the risk? Do the smart thing and start buckling up every trip, day or night. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Dads want steaks, and with Father's Day around the corner, there isn't a better gift than Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com, type sizzle in the search bar, and order the Dads Want Steaks package. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience he'll love and can share with you. Go to omahasteaks.com and type sizzle into the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package today. You'll get 16 entrees and 4 desserts, plus 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers with your order. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword sizzle.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. Hey, if you're in the market for selling your house, you're probably not alone. Everybody's always looking to maybe sell, including myself. I've owned 4 different houses in my lifetime. When it's time to sell, you always wish there was something easier, too. It can be a hassle. What if you just take the hassle out of it and just sell to Open Door at opendoor.com? Hassle-free sale so you can focus on all the other things in life as you move. It's the new way to sell your home because it's easier. That's simple. I wanted to see how easy it was. So I went to opendoor.com, answered a few questions. Takes, seriously, 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. You're done. Open Door will send you an offer if you're eligible. Really easy to request an offer. Thousands of people are doing it. You can be the next one to request an offer with Open Door at opendoor.com. When life's doors open, Open Door will handle the house. Learn more at opendoor.com/myoffer. You'll know how much you'll get. Close when you're ready. Everything is done online. Sell in a matter of days if you want. Skip the listing, skip the staging, skip the strangers in your home. Sell your home to Open Door at opendoor.com. Eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Welcome back, everybody, to Tivoli's House of Cards. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz here on a Wednesday edition of Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're in a funky little couple of weeks where we took a couple days last week. Casey was on his honeymoon, and then we had the holiday Monday, back at it yesterday, and today on the road. Not going into the studio ever again.
That's fine.
That's what I plan on.
I'll be here.
And, yeah, you'll be there tomorrow and Friday. I'm taking Kaylee up to the North Carolina area. So we will be on the road again, and then on the road really for much of the summer. But we'll do the show from the road most of the time, not doing the show the next couple of days. Casey, Brian Middleton, and company, perhaps. Maybe some surprise guests.
You never know.
We'll have you covered 3 to 6. So I encourage Casey not to do Action Sports Jax OT. That's like a lot.
Got to build the brand, Brent, you know?
Yeah, I mean, build it during Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, 3 to 6. Get 3 hours to build the brand.
That is true. You know,
there you go.
I know there's somebody getting in their car like 6 o'clock. They're expecting to hear me and Brian, and that's what they're going to get. Maybe. We'll have to find out.
Well, there's somebody getting in their car tomorrow probably expecting to hear me, too, and they're not going to tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
But they'll hear me again soon.
They might hear you tomorrow.
They'll be back, we hope. They understand. They get it. We have such good listeners and viewers. Hopefully you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And I'm still a little excited that I got you to like my outfield idea.
Well done, Brent. I mean, listen, you're speaking my language a little bit when you talk about the autographs and such. I think it's a good idea. I don't really see a lot of problems with it. Again, if you hit somebody, that's going to be a problem. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good idea. Now, if you want to go deep into it, if you sign the ball and then immediately chuck, you're probably going to smear, which is obviously going to be a problem. So you're going to need at least a couple seconds of like a drying period. You could sign the balls before the game, though.
I was thinking of that, but I kind of want to make it more real.
Well, you could fake it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Or you could just like blow on each one. Like it doesn't take much.
Yeah,
and it's going to be flying in the air, right?
Yeah, So we'll see. Probably tougher on a humid day, right?
Well, yeah, but if you're playing Tropicana Field, it don't matter. You know, inside, 72 degrees, chilling.
Yeah, good point.
At the Trop with the barbecue sauce.
Anyway, I'm not going there again, but that was a way to say if you missed it yesterday, go back to YouTube, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. You can hear our conversation. We really think we might have changed the game in Major League Baseball for upcoming outfielders.
Yep.
So it was about an hour and 40 minutes in yesterday on YouTube and on the podcast, which we take the commercials out there, so it's actually not an hour and 40, and it's in the second hour. How about that?
It's in there somewhere.
On Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Okay, before we had Mike Hollis on, which was a really fun conversation, but it's amazing when you have a kicker on how many different things like we could talk about. The Jax kicking situation has been terrible. We'll get into that down the road. The Arena League is a different deal. Youth kicking today, kicking in general today versus like just even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, has changed. So that was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
If you missed that, you can also check it out on YouTube and the podcast. But before we did that interview, I asked the question about Trevor Lawrence and what would it take for him to have a big year, like a big jump, like what's considered a big jump. And Dan says big jump is putting the team on his back and winning some shootouts. Now, that's a good call. Like, and I don't even know if it takes a shootout in that context.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more, go back to like the Indianapolis game of, not the end one, the one in Indy, where he fumbled the football on their side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in it, in the game, you have a chance. Maybe the Cincinnati Thursday night game situation, where you're up 14-0, you've blown the lead, but you now have a chance to counter again or go win it. Those kind of situations. So what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be 35-31, 38-35, 42-39. You know, I don't think it has to be that. That'd be cool too. Or maybe not cool for the defense giving up that many points. But I think you're right, Dan, in the sense that you got to go win some games. And so, but you've got to be the guy that engineered it. The reason why Lamar Jackson took a jump in year two, Mahomes in year two, these kind of, Herbert even, they won games. And they were putting their team in position to get the W because of the quarterback. They were making these big plays at big times down the stretch of games. We didn't see enough of that. We haven't seen enough of that around here in general by anybody. But we haven't seen that yet really from Trevor. So that would be a nice jump. That would be a great indicator. He's a winner, right? I mean, a guy knows how to win football games. He's done it at Clemson. He did it in high school. Now he's going to prove that he can do it in the NFL. You know, it's interesting. Like, I bring up Herbert's name, but Herbert actually put their team in a position to win games that they actually ended up losing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it felt like he had won the game, and then their defense would disappoint.
Yeah,
and they would lose it. So, like, even that, like, Herbert he hasn't won enough, but it's really not on him. It doesn't feel like. It's like all these other reasons why, for some odd reason, the Chargers don't win.
Agreed.
So, but I like that point, Dan. I mean, I do think you're right. I think you got to sooner or later. I don't know what the number is. Like, I don't even know. This would be a good little thing to look up and do some research for the fall. Like, what is the elite quarterback? Do they win 2 games a year? Game-winning drives, comebacks, 3 games a year? Like, what's the number? But I do feel like if we saw that 2 or 3 times from Trevor, they stand out. They're magnified to the point where it feels like we saw it 8 times. It's kind of like we were talking Derek Jeter earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Jeter came through in such big spots that it felt like every time he came up, he came through.
Yep.
That's not true.
Eh.
He probably hit like 300 in those situations and got it done 3 out of every 10 times.
Hall of Fame numbers.
But that's the point. Like, it's like, wait a minute. So he did that, but it felt like he hit 800 in those spots. I think the quarterback is very much like that. Quarterback like Brady and Rodgers, they come back and win or game-winning drive situations 2-3 times a year maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a 4th. But it feels like it's every week.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe it's every other week. And so I think like that's where we need Trevor to get. To get to a point where it's like, hey, give us the ball because my guy's going to win. And that's the way Kansas City feels. That's the way the Bucs feel. That's the way Green Bay feels. That's the way probably the Chargers do feel, even though something probably go wrong because they got such bad luck, it feels like. But that's the way Seattle felt with Russell Wilson. Like, you did not want to give that other guy the ball. So much so that people game plan when they're driving down the field if they're playing that guy to not leave any time left.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen has developed into that a little bit now. So that's a huge question for Trevor. Can he do that? So a really good point, Dan. But what I also was getting back to statistically is I don't think it's that far of a reach and sunshine and rainbowy to say, hey, Trevor, year 1, 12 touchdowns. Really, like, that's not good. Can you get to 30? Now, I'm not saying he needs to get to 30, but I was wondering how absurd is it for him to get to 30? And, Casey, you have the numbers. Last year, how many quarterbacks threw for 30 touchdowns or more?
9.
So that's what would be about 9% of the league, 10% of the league.
Yeah, roughly.
I mean, not really 10% probably, but
somewhere in there.
No, what am I doing? That's not right. That's more like a third of the league.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's like, so 936 would be 25. So, yeah, we're talking about 29, 30% of the league.
Okay.
Totally did the math wrong. Sorry, Steph. So that's a pretty healthy number. Who was it? Do you know, or do you have that list?
Yeah.
What you got?
Brady, Stafford, Herbert, Rodgers, Dak, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins.
Of course.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's probably those are some of the best quarterbacks in the league, we would say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe is a touch unrealistic.
Probably.
So he probably maybe north of 25 though.
So north of 25, there's only one other guy.
Really?
Yep.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, kind of, because it's Carson Wentz.
Wow. So only 10 guys threw for more than 25.
Yep. And you got Russell Wilson with 25 right on the dot.
All right, I'd put him in there. So 11. Oh, that's surprising. Now, I've got to be honest with you. That surprised me. I thought 25 would be like ho-hum average.
Yeah, no.
Who led the – so was it Rodgers that led the league?
Brady.
Brady, what did he have, 43?
43.
So 43 leads the league, and that's like a common thing now. If you like guys throw for 40 touchdowns, 2 or 3 guys, 1 guy, whatever it is, every year now.
Yeah, there's 2 this year, so Stafford had 41 as well.
Okay. Boy, that surprises me. Okay, so my first, when we did this segment at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, I said 24 touchdowns, right? I went 12 touchdowns to 24, interceptions from 17 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably more realistic.
Yeah.
Like, and doable.
Yes. So just so you know, the number I thought of that I haven't said yet, mine, I don't know if expectation, but I think good would be 21-9.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing. If you lower the interception number, you're more forgiving on the touchdown number.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, man, 21-9 in today's day and age, 9's pretty good. If you throw under 10 interceptions, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But 21 seems very pedestrian in today's NFL. Like, if Trevor Lawrence throwing 21 touchdowns, kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, my numbers got all out of whack here, but 21 touchdowns, like the people that are in that category are like Ryan Tannehill. Matt Ryan's in there. That's kind of here's 21. Yeah. Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Taylor Heineke, Mac Jones had 22. It's a quick jump from 25. You go 24 with Kyler, 23 with Derek Carr, Mac and Big Ben at 22, and then behind that is just like Heineke and those guys.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one right there. Mac, first of all, is a good measuring stick, but also you said Derek Carr only had 23.
23 and
Feels
14.
like he had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
And he had 23 and 14.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty wild. Wouldn't have guessed that, right? Would you have guessed that?
No.
Like, I would have thought it was 30 and 12.
Yeah, agreed. It felt like more, for sure.
Wow, I gotta change my mind is not thinking that way. I feel like people throw 28 touchdowns a year, no problem. And then you get wrapped up in the interceptions. You got to be careful there. But, all right, let's go. I go 24 and 12 is a big enough jump for me to feel good about Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's good, but I also feel like it's a reasonable number. Like, again, I'll tell you, 12 is not good.
Not really.
Like, your offense really stinks if you're throwing 12 touchdown passes.
Yep.
So, got to get away from that number. All right, we got to get out of here, take a break, and put a bow on the show and hand off to Action Sports Jax OT. That is all coming up live from Davoli's House of Cards when we come back on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anna Jar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Mike Holmes, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut Water Treatment System. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every day, canine officers and their canine partners risk their lives to keep us safe. Now they need our support more than ever. The state of Florida has approved the sale of a new Canines United license plate. $25 from each plate sold will help fund essential equipment like trauma kits, heat alarms, and bulletproof vests, as well as training for canine units across Florida. But 3,000 tags must be pre-sold before they can be produced. So please visit caninesunited.org today to order yours and help protect those who protect and serve our community.
For seniors, staying healthy can be complicated,
But one of the easiest routes to good health is prevention. No matter what our community's current COVID-19 infection rates are, getting your booster shot now is a smart way to protect yourself from severe illness later. ElderSource encourages people 65 and up to get a safe, free COVID-19 booster. For more information, visit myeldersource.org or call the ElderSource helpline at 888-242-4464.
Sell your home hassle-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Laura, said, I had a great experience with Mark Spain Real Estate. The entire process was seamless and efficient. Thank you so much, Laura. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At CDW, we get sometimes your teams have to be in two places at once.
Tell me about it. Our team lead needs to be at a wedding this weekend, but the big presentation is on Monday.
No need to panic. CDW experts can help you implement Citrix Workspace. It allows secure access to desktops from any device. Management is easy, and everyone in your office can stay close to their files and apps, even during the cha-cha slide.
Well, talk about having your cake.
And eating it, too. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Citrix.
Parents, it's time to cross off life insurance from your to-do list. With Fabric, protecting your family with great term life insurance is easy, fast, all online, and affordable. Fabric's policies start at less than $1 a day. You could be approved on the spot with no health exam and no risk. Cancel anytime. Stop putting it off. Apply today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life. Not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. Hey, if you haven't checked out iCryo in St. Johns County, you got to do it. And how about do it on a Wednesday? Because their Wellness Wednesday, you can really save. $20 for a lifestyle service, 20% off IV infusions and vitamin injections. Can't do it much better than that. Bring a friend. Elevate your lifestyle today at iCryo. Whole body cryotherapy, infrared sauna, PBM red light therapy bed, compression therapy, local cryofacial, body sculpting as well. Wellness Wednesdays, and the Martineaus were over there at iCryo today, I can tell you that. So trying to recover from that weekend, recover from your sporting event, recover from just your daily life at iCryo. Pavilion at Durbin Park. It's been open about 5 weeks. Got to go check it out. Good people over there at iCryo. They'll take care of you and take advantage of some of the specials like Wellness Wednesdays with a $20 lifestyle service, normally $39, and 20% off vitamin shots and IV infusions. Brent Martineau back here at Davoli's House of Cards for a couple more minutes before we hand off to Casey Kurtz and Brian Middleton, Action Sports Jax OT, and then to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Hey, we started the day talking golf with the Dream 18 show. I'm actually going to go over to Southampton, do my TV show from there, and announce to everybody a save the date for the 2022 Dream 18 Golf Tournament, which will be on September 19th this year at Southampton. So hopefully you can put that on the calendar, folks, and be a part of the Dream 18. Don't forget, ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. Great gift for Father's Day is the Dream 18 discount golf card. It's just $55 now, down from $69. So looking for a gift for Dad? That's an easy one. We have you covered for that. But we started talking about golf. One of the big stories, Dustin Johnson going to the Saudi League, and what will happen next? Now we kind of wait. It's a big week in golf, by the way, the Memorial. Yeah. Jack Nicklaus's place in Ohio. He says he's committed to the PGA Tour, and that shouldn't be a surprise. I think a lot of people are. I don't think this is a big deal yet with the Saudi League, but you do kind of have it on your radar now. Where does it go? I'm betting against it, Casey. That's what I said earlier today on the Dream 18 show. Are you betting with it or against the Saudi League?
I'm not betting against it as it currently stands. I don't think I'm going to bet on it. I think I'm just going to wait and see, let the information play out, and then I'll throw a wager or two. By the way, on OT, if you're interested in the golf stuff, pulled some sound from Rory McIlroy, so you'll hear his thoughts on the field for the LIV.
Yeah, he's very good on this topic and many topics around the sport of golf, so we'll look forward to hearing from Rory coming up next. That's Action Sports Jax OT with Casey and Brian. That'll do it from Davoli's House of Cards. Always fun hanging out here. Thanks to Mark Davoli and everybody for having us. We'll do it again next Wednesday as well. Have a good night, everybody. I'm Brent Martineau, ESPN 690. We'll see you on TV tonight as well, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Buckle up. The SiriusXM Listen Free event is happening now. Listen in your car to over 100 channels, including ad-free music of every kind, plus sports play-by-play and talk and news covering all angles, now through June 6th. Here's your chance to check out exclusives, like the Whole Lotta Red Hot channel from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and limited run channels like Def Leppard Radio. We've already turned it on. Just press the SAT button in your car to start listening free through June 6th.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
The weather's not the only thing hot. Beard's Diamond's incredible 0% financing was a sizzling success this past spring. So, we're bringing it back for a limited time.
Shop the biggest inventory in North Florida and get 0% financing store-wide for 5 years on anything and everything.
How about a $6,000 designer setting?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a $2,500 pair of diamond studs.
You pay less than $42 a month.
Just spread your payments out over 60 months.
Shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com.
How about a GIA certified diamond with a Tacori or Veragio setting for $12,000?
You pay just $200 a month.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price. And now get 0% financing store-wide.
Pick out that one-of-a-kind price, then divide your total by 60, and that's what you pay a month.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center, or shop and purchase online now at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
Rock the runway. You own it. Have a ball. You own it. Land a big one. You own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. When you bank at Community First, you're not just a customer, you're an owner. That means you're in control with better rates, fewer fees, and free digital tools. We put you first so you can relax and just be yourself. Go ahead and own it. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The NBA Finals tip-off tomorrow night in San Francisco. The Warriors and the Celtics. And ESPN's Stephen A. Smith has a prediction on this series and beyond.
I'm willing to say the Golden State Warriors are winning 2 of the next 3 titles. I believe Steph Curry will eclipse LeBron James and capture 5 championships in his career while LeBron is still stuck on 4.
Stephen A. on First Take. The NBA Finals are on ESPN Radio and ABC starting tomorrow night. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Nets will defer taking a first-round pick from the 76ers until next year. That pick was part of the James Harden trade. In the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 1 in the East Final with the Rangers hosting the Lightning. It's at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Buffalo Bills linebacker Andre Smith gets a 6-game suspension to start the 2022 NFL season for using performance-enhancing drugs. French Open today, world number 1 Iga Swiatek beats Jessica Pegula, her 33rd straight win.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Another Lightning edition, Action Sports Jax Overtime on ESPN 690. Got you for 20 minutes leading you into some Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp baseball tonight in Norfolk. Casey Kurtz rocking with you on OT. Again, I told Brian Middleton, I said, you work too hard to come in here for a 20-minute show. Let me handle it. I'll take care of it because I need you tomorrow, Brian Middleton, when we have a show from 3 to 6 p.m. Brent is out the next couple days, so me and Brian will handle duties from 3 to 6. And maybe some friends stopping by as well. So we got you covered. But for the rest of the next 18 minutes or so, I've got you covered right here on OT. A couple things we'll touch on that we didn't really touch on from 3 to 6, and one of those is hockey, because, per the usual, Brent Martineau, doesn't matter what happened. He won't talk about hockey. It's cool. No big deal. Lightning start the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. I told you yesterday, and listen, folks, you know me, I don't like to brag much. Actually, I do a lot. I told you yesterday that if you're not a hockey fan, if you are not a fan or you want to become a fan, you're a new fan, and you just want to see what hockey's all about, I told you to watch Edmonton and Colorado last night, and it did not disappoint. If you're a defensive hockey fan, it might have disappointed because the final score of the game was 8-6, right? 5 goals in the first period, 6 in the second. I mean, it was just up and down action. Edmonton once again makes it a game after they were getting blown out early, but Colorado doesn't let up. So I think, again, I'll tell you again, if you are not a hockey fan or you want to become one, you should watch Game 2 of that series in a couple of days. Edmonton, Brent touched on something a little earlier that I thought was fascinating in terms of hockey, and he brought it to Golden State, obviously, in the finals against Boston. And he said when they're playing as a team and as one and doing their thing, it's like poetry in motion. And that's how I feel about this Edmonton team. I understand they lost last night. Colorado, I don't feel that way. They got good players, but it's a couple player show, in my opinion, in Colorado. Not that it's not in Edmonton, but I think when you have somebody so smooth with a puck like Connor McDavid, the best player in the sport, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of most, it just looks so smooth. So when they were on some of those power plays last night, passing it back and forth, and McDavid was stick handling, it was truly something to watch if you are a hockey fan. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it because, frankly, we are in Florida, and that's not Colorado nor Edmonton. But the story in that one will be Mike Smith, who's been their goalie all season. Mike Smith, by the way, has been in the league forever. He was on the Lightning way back when I lived in Tampa. 40 years old, still doing the thing. Shout out to him. But Mike Smith was not good last night. Gave up a couple goals, and by a couple, I mean 6. And the question will be, can Edmonton win with him? He's been great at times, but at times he hasn't been great. Can they win with him? Will they need to make a change at goalie? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, what do you think about that?
We're very confident in Mike. We're very confident in both goalies. Obviously, we didn't do enough to help Mike out early in the game, and just gave him way too many really good chances. And obviously, a team like that's going to find a way to put those in. And they did, yeah, all of them. Seems like every puck that was shot at Mike Smith went in. So, by the way, Nugent-Hopkins is kind of an underrated guy for that team. He's a guy most people forget about, especially if you're a casual hockey fan, but this was a guy that was a first-round pick, and I should say the number 1 overall pick back in 2011. He's been with Edmonton his entire career. Never really lived up to that number 1 overall pick. He's a quality player, but
a guy that you might be wondering, why did I play his soundbite? Well, that's the guy that talks, right? He's been on that team since 2011. He's been there for a long time. McDavid obviously is that dude for sure. Draisaitl's another guy that you probably don't really even want talking because he's been known to say some things, but that's why we're listening to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins talk about Oilers hockey, because he knows a thing or two about it. Like I said, the Lightning get going tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals. They will be in New York to take on the Rangers. You know, I'll be locked into that one at 8 p.m., and then I'll come back here tomorrow and talk all about it. And frankly, I don't care if you care, because I love the Lightning, and that's what we're going to talk about. And really, the Lightning are kind of like Florida's team. Like, anybody can adopt the Lightning, right? They're good. Check. That's what we need. Jacksonville, obviously, we have the Iceman, and we support the Iceman, but that's not an NHL team. So I invite you to be a fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And there's not really a better time to jump on the bandwagon. They've won 2 straight, going for 3 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's what's going on in hockey. The other thing we talked about a lot from 2 to 3 during the Dream 18 show, not so much from 3 to 6, is the LIV field announced, otherwise known as the Saudi-backed golf tour. Most people know it as the Saudi League. It's actually called the LIV, which you might just now be finding out. But nonetheless, the field was announced, and there were some ones we expected. Sergio Garcia, who mouthed off, they caught him on a hot mic saying he couldn't wait to leave this tour a couple weeks ago. Well, he does indeed do that. Lee Westwood, another name we know, will no longer be on the PGA Tour. Couple surprises, but none bigger than Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson will be leaving the PGA Tour to go to the LIV Tour. RBC has already backed out of a sponsorship that they've had for a long time with Dustin Johnson, and Dustin Johnson has made a decision. Rumors are $30 million plus potentially, as well as a stake in the ownership of the league. And if that's the truth, you can't turn that down. That is a lot of money, and that is an opportunity to own something that might really become something. Brent isn't sold. I don't know if I'm sold, but I think it can be done. And I think they got enough young players. You obviously weren't going to get like a Victor Hovland, a Colin Morikawa. But Taylor Gooch is a guy that intrigues me. Sam Horfield's another one that intrigues me. So there are some younger players on this tour. How will they build it will be the question. The names you know, by the way, besides Westwood, Garcia, and Dustin Johnson. Kevin Na will also be going. He's a name that I believe most diehard golf fans, I guess, knew could potentially be going over there. Brandon Grace will be going as well, the South African. This one kind of jumped off the page at you. If you saw the list that came out last night, there's a name on there, Koepka. And I said, oh, just Chase. Brooks' younger brother, Chase Koepka. Good for him. It's been tough for him getting into fields on the PGA Tour and obviously having to live up to what his brother Brooks has done. So I think that's cool for Chase to go kind of chase his dream on a different tour. So that's cool. I like that. Graham McDowell will also be going as well. Charles Schwartzel, a Masters winner. Hudson Swafford, another young player who's won a couple of times recently. So it's an interesting field. But again, nothing huge. And this all comes on the heels of the Memorial Jax tournament in Ohio coming up tomorrow. It starts 12 hours from now. So you've got some guys that were supposed to be in the field there that now are no longer going to be in the field. And lucky for us, Rory McIlroy talked today and not yesterday. So we were able to get his thoughts on what he thinks about the LIV field and some of the guys that decided to take their talents to the Saudi League.
Different is probably the way I would describe it. A couple of surprises in there, I think. I certainly don't think they should drop the hammer. Look, they're well within their rights to enforce the rules and regulations that have been set, but there's going to be it's going to end up being an argument about what those rules and regulations are. So, like, I have some very close friends that are playing in this event in London, and I certainly wouldn't want to stand in their way for them to do what they feel is right for themselves. So. I certainly, it's not something that I would do personally, but I certainly understand why some of the guys have went, and it's something that we're all going to just keep an eye on and see what happens over these next few weeks. But I mean, I certainly don't think the field is anything to jump up and down about. It's not, look at the field this week, look at the field next week in Canada. They're proper golf tournaments.
Yeah, well, Rory, to be honest with you, they're going because of the money. The money's good, Rory. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. And it's easier to win. It's going to be easier to win when you're not playing guys like, you and Justin Thomas and guys like that who are just incredibly talented at the sport. Not that these guys aren't, but a lot of those guys that I mentioned, Lee Westwood, Sergio Garcia, even Dustin Johnson, on the back ends of their careers. So it's going to be easier to win over there, and $30 million ain't hurting either, Rory. But he's got a good point, and he said at the very end there, these are proper golf tournaments that they have coming up on the PGA Tour. I told you it's a memorial. The Canada Open is back for the first time in a couple years, which is also weird with the timing here because Dustin Johnson, like I told you, RBC just dropped him. He was a big sponsor or a big representative of RBC, the RBC Canadian Open, right? So they're obviously a bit disappointed that Dustin Johnson makes this decision when he does. But nonetheless, we got a lot of good PGA Tour golf coming up, but it will be an interesting thing to watch and see, kind of like Rory said. And I'm telling you, I don't think this is a nothing story. I think this has a chance to succeed. How big? Yet to be seen. But I think they did a good job getting European former stars, guys that European fans want to see, like Lee Westwood, who usually plays on the PGA Tour. Same with Sergio Garcia. They did a good job there. You got Dustin Johnson with the draw, and they got a couple of good young players. How will they build off that? Will guys like Taylor Gooch and Sam Horsfield go back to their friends and younger tour professionals and say, hey, I kind of like what they're doing over here. You should come try it out. That's what I think they're going to try to build on. We'll see how it plays out, but I think it's a fascinating conversation that we're having right now in the world of golf. We got to hit our first break. On the other side, we'll hand it off to Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball tonight in Norfolk. But we'll hit the break, and we will talk a little bit more before we do that. Stick with us. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
Key, J, and Max. Followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN